it'll be dead.
All right, we should be back now. Our audio should be coming through. We should be back.
Yeah. Any quick thing? I know that last time we had this, you wanted to hide bad guys' initiative from us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just haven't done that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, don't look, Sean. Don't remember it at all. Don't look.
I mean,
a good player.
It's weird. I looked into this light and suddenly forgot the last 30 seconds of my life. I don't know what happened.
And here's me hurriedly erasing the initiative order that I wrote down.
The Man in Black. Do. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you guys shouldn't be able to see it yet now.
Nope.
Yeah.
I can see dead cultist.
Yeah, he's fine. He's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead.
He's dead, bro.
I like the idea that we can see their initiative order once we've killed them.
On a scale of 1 to 100, how do you feel?
It's like a fancy shell game. We only can know after we get it right.
Oh, goodness.
Everybody just ignore my giant thingy of juice that I got here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that. Look at that.
It's
Look at
probably
all that.
alcoholic.
All right. So, when we last left off, you had gone to talk to the queen after, I don't know, kind of giving away, the upper hand by saying that you were directly there on behalf of the circle that was banished from Marseille. And after that, they were like, oh, hey, look, you guys should come talk to us. Come hang out at the castle. They invited you there, and they basically interrogated you, asking you all about the dragon orbs, why you were there. The queen asked you guys some personal stuff as well. But then, bammo! Betrayal! You are betrayed by dragon cultists and Lucian, your new buddy, supposedly. Not anymore. It's debatable now. It's not even debatable. He's not your friend. Then you did some fighting, smash. Alaric knocked a fucking dude out, straight up, just haymaker, unconscious. And then a dragon showed up. One of the dragon cultists who had entered the room and kind of was keeping to themselves, not really taking part in any of the fighting, was more or less called by Fabian to come over and assist. And then, what do you know? Polymorph, and it's a red dragon, and it's in the room, and it's angry, and everybody's angry and mad, but good times. So now that's where you are. As the goblin, I won't forget, Trin is running to go find your weapons and stuff, which were taken and put in an adjacent room, possibly, not really sure, but that's where you saw the royal guards go, who disarmed you all of most of your weapons. And then we had an awesome follower of the channel, supporter of the channel, spend a whole bunch of money to just automatically cut your health pools in half and increase the damage on the enemies. So, we're going to add some more enemies to the board. Make that happen. Because, yeah. Monsters have allies,
Since I'm in the chat, or since I'm in the game and I know that this is going to affect me anyway, can I propose that we add the tokens around Trin just for funsies while he's running away from the rest of us fighting?
No, they're running in from where reinforcements come from, which are right in front of Alaric's face.
Ooh, that's a lot of... You know what? I got knuckle sandwiches, and it's all you can eat night.
Booyah! Nice. So let's roll them in. Secretly find out where they go. Oh, that was a low roll on that one. It was terrible. So, let's see. Get that note out of the way. Bring up these notes.
Oh no.
So, as the dragon just stands upright and roars in the chamber, almost this deafening roar that echoes off the walls, it strikes out with its claws, just bashing down the statue in front of it, destroying it, sending large shards of marble and stone just across the room, scatter shot from a shotgun, just detonates the side of the wall. and it kind of begins moving forward slowly. Its claws like crushing into the marble below, just deforming it completely. Like a bit of steaming saliva kind of just runs off of his jaw and just hisses on the ground, and you can see like a slight goldenish or glowing effect kind of coming from the very back of its throat as it's kind of lifting up so that you could see in. As it scans the room and looks around, it states, "Fabian, I will kill these individuals and take the orbs back to Andrakar for us. After I torture and find out which one of them is hiding the final orb. So, which one of you fools is hiding the final orb from me?" And then we'll just kind of roll back into initiative. So that's where we pick up. It was Fabian's turn. So I will end his turn, and that brings us to Nikolai. So what are you doing, buddy?
Game time. I see this guy before me. He tried to attack me. I don't really care because there's people in need. So I'm going to move. I'm going to click my guy and... Come on, Chandri. You can do it.
Gonna do some stuff.
Okay, first off, I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt on Murkos. He seems to be kind of unsure about what to do, and so I'm hoping that maybe I can distract him a little bit. So that guy is going to take a Guiding Bolt to the face.
All right. Roll out that spell, buddy.
Does 15 hit?
A 15 does not hit with that increased armor class for harder to hit.
Hey, thanks, Tech.
Oh,
Woo!
curse you!
So what does that spell
That's
look like when you cast it?
So you guys just see like a streak of shadow kind of like coming out from Nikolai's hand and races across the ground, like jumps up right in front of Murkos, and as like a radiant thunderbolt strikes out and just crashes into the statue behind him. So I figure, well, maybe I'm just too far. So how about I just get closer?
All right.
The game is paused. That's why I can't move my token.
There you go.
Right.
Unpause.
I'm going to just kind of rotate around here, move 10 feet, and I'm going to just kind of position myself between Locke and Katarina, and then I'm going to cast a 4th level spiritual weapon.
All right, so spiritual weapon.
Yeah, we need a big, beefy scythe. So it's going to spawn within 30 feet of me, and I would like to have it spawn over here to give Alaric some extra help.
All right.
At which point it would have attacked with a 16 to hit against the closest guy.
All right, let me handle some of this real quick.
Oh no.
Okay, whatever. All right, so 16 to hit?
Yes.
That would hit.
Oh, I forgot because the Guiding Bolt's not a cantrip, so that did not happen. Never mind.
All right,
Yeah.
so the spell attempts to flicker out in place and then disappears.
Yes.
Remove that.
But I move
All right.
there, and that's my turn.
That is your turn. All right, pass that turn.
Go.
All right, so being ushered on by their it's supposed, it seems, like pack leader or whatever, who just yells, "Go forth and kill them!" This cultist runs over to Nikolai and attacks him with his scimitar.
Woo. Oh, jeez.
That is going to be a 22 to hit, which hits. So
Oh no.
you are going to take 5 slashing damage.
Ugh.
As he You're turning to try to concentrate on casting the spell. He comes up behind you silently, like a cat running across the floor, and then just jabs into your armor, but underestimating the strength of and protective nature of the armor you're wearing, it just deflects right off. And that ends his turn. So, as the cultists barge through the other side door across from Alric, they take a quick glance at each other. A moment of hesitation as they kind of survey the room, but then immediately rush forward to attack Alric.
My body is
As
ready.
one comes right forward, attacks with a scimitar as well. Ooh, that is going to be a nat 1. As the weapon comes out of his hand and is deflected, basically, you kind of just disarm him. He comes in with a wild lunge. You grab a hold of his arm, step inward, and just like kind of elbow right in the chin, and he loosens his grip, and you throw the sword to the side. And that ends his turn. Bringing us to the top of the round. So, as the top of the round comes in, you start to see the barrier that the queen is protected by, and the magical barrier begins to kind of waver, and now there's like every once in a while like a just push back and forth inside, and parts of it are starting to kind of just open up. And based on what you can see, Locke, you think maybe only like a few more, maybe a minute at max before this thing is dispelled.
Okay, I'm gonna take one step forward towards Katarina. And I'm targeting Murkos with a... ooh. Oh no. What am I gonna do? Just Shocking Bolt. Cantrip.
Shocking Bolt. Alright, roll to hit. That is a hit.
Alright, so... arcs of electricity roll up from my core across my arm, and then a bolt of lightning shoots out in his direction.
Yeah, so it strikes him pretty solid. A magical barrier kind of jumps up in place just at the last moment and tries to protect him, but some of it still makes it through, and he like loses his grip, and his arm starts shaking, and he kind of loses the spell he was working on casting.
Ooh, nice.
Neat. Alright, so I get close to Katarina, and we're kind of side by side, and I tell her, if you stay close, I can protect you better. And that will end my turn.
Okay. So, the cultist leader over here pulls out what looks like some sort of enchanted version of a weapon that all the other cultists are carrying. There's kind of a bluish tint or glow that's kind of just coming off of the blade. And he decides to join the fray. Let's see. Alright, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So he comes towards Nikolai, coming around the opposite side, granting him advantage on the attack. And he will use his fanatical advantage to attack you with his multi-attack. So he's going to make 2 attacks against you. So the first attack is going to be a miss, and the second attack is also going to be a miss.
Haha!
Yeah, I don't know, Justin. I mean, I can hear it. Who else can hear music?
I can.
Yeah, I can.
Then it's
The
a
key
me
music?
problem.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Hear the
Yeah.
game
Hey,
music.
you know the rules. Anytime
Yeah.
you have problems, you don't talk about it. You restart.
All right. So he comes in making 2 pretty level attacks with the blade, trying to aim for like your neck area, but you just kind of turn and the first just misses completely, and then you step forward and kind of trying to jar him, like the weapon in his hand, you throw your pauldron into it, and you can see it like kind of reflects the weapon back.
Ooh, nice.
All right. After getting zapped by a shocking bolt, Marcos is not at all happy with what just happened. So you see him begin casting a spell.
And I counterspell it.
Okay, yeah, so you counterspell it. All right, yeah, so
Hey,
he goes
wizards.
to cast the spell, and you just, whoop, it's gone, disappears. And he just looks real upset. He's just frustrated and angry. All right, that ends his turn.
As the
Actually, no, he's going to move. He moves to try to get closer to the dragon within its protection.
So the spell he was creating, I pull a fist and it comes into my hand and gets absorbed into me, giving me an extra charge of my power surge ability.
All right, sounds awesome. That brings us to Ulrich.
That's me. I'm Ulrich. Okay. Looking at this. Oh, Marcos, why'd you do that? Okay. I'm going to ignore the possibility of an attack of opportunity, seeing that the most important thing here is to keep the queen alive, and I will bound up towards Marcos.
So you'd be leaving the range of 2 opponents, just to let you know. Okay. So, the first one you disarm, so he doesn't even bother. But the other one kind of tries to come over the top and take advantage of you retreating. And he will take an attack of opportunity. So, let's see. We'll roll. And that is a miss. Wow.
Whew. I was expecting
Luck is on your side tonight. Nope, just another miss. Yeah, he comes across with a slashing attack towards your face, and you just kind of duck under it and just step backwards and turn to make your way the other direction.
I look so formidable they weren't expecting me to run away from them.
Yep. Totally.
I run up on the way to Marcos, use a bonus action to move my hunter's mark onto him.
Onto Marcos?
Yes.
Okay. Whoop.
He just... Oh, okay. I was like, he's dead. And then I will attack with my falchion. I know the first attack is at disadvantage.
You rolled Dispel Magic, not Counterspell, Matt.
Oh, well, it uses the same spell slot, so my bad.
Yeah, just so letting you know.
A 10 to hit on the first one against Marcos. That's going to miss for sure.
That is definitely a miss.
Right. And then my second attack against Marcos. That one is a 13 total. That's going to miss too, huh?
That is also a miss. Yes, sir.
Oh. I slash wildly in front of him and just don't make any purchase at all.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there's like some sort of like magical barrier, and he's kind of using magic to just like deflect your attacks as they come in, push him away. You're just gonna have to find a way through.
But that will end my turn as soon as I come over here and click it. Haha.
All right. That brings it to the cultist who first attacked you. So he kind of looks at the direction you're running, sees that you're running towards a dragon and a wizard, and decides that he's going to come over here and attack Locke instead.
Oh, Locke. Oh.
So he makes one attack with his scimitar, and that is going to be a 13 to hit. So that is a hit. You will take 5 slashing damage. You want me to take that off your sheet for you?
I think I just did.
Oh, okay. Yep. Just making sure. All right, that ends his turn. bringing it to Lucian, who continues to work on dispelling the barrier the queen is behind. So, that will end his turn. The other cultist behind you, Nikolai, that's fighting you with the cult leader, makes an attack against you as well.
Okay, bring it.
That is going to be a miss. That cleric AC,
clang,
bro.
Clang, clang, clang.
Oh wait, no, he has advantage. Yeah, it's still a miss. Okay.
Clang.
All right. Yep. Now, the dragon kind of moves forward, slowly walking, taking his time moving over through the rubble of the statue. He steps around.
Oh no!
Up front, taking view, lording over everybody. And he begins speaking in Draconic. And he casts a spell.
No
and he
spell.
casts Lightning Bolt at 3rd level through. Let me see here. It's gonna. Let's see. Where's that thing at?
No.
Giving no shits about his own people, he casts it straight through the room. So, where is the edge of his thingamabobber? I will just do it this way. Yeah, so I need a DC 17 dex save from Godric and from Nikolai, and then I will make it for Homeboy down here.
Yikes!
Oh no.
Ooh, good save.
Did I just barely avoid it?
You did just barely avoid it, according to the template.
Oh, thank God.
Yep, just barely. So he fails, and is more or less eviscerated by the damage roll. Oh, whoop! I accidentally closed it. Where'd that go? Okay. I'll just roll it in here, since that thing is not opening.
No.
Oh, why did that not? Okay. That did not work. Ah! No, it's still not. Why is that doing that? Okay. There we go. So, everybody who passes takes half of 31 lightning damage.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he is gone, so obviously this dragon does not give a shit about the minions that are serving underneath it. As this, from, like, in front of its face, there's almost like a plate of magic, and, like, it begins turning, and then just wham! Like a flash of just blue lightning just shoots straight through the room. And, like, hits the other side, just blows the wall out of the throne room.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Alright, that ends the dragon's turn. Did you apply the damage, Nikolai, or do you want me to?
Oh, well, I definitely applied the damage. Oh, yeah. I definitely applied it. I'm at a...
Oh, okay, I see what I'm looking at.
You're
That's what's
at
throwing
hit
me
point.
out. No, I got it. It's because of the floor coloring underneath, it made it look like you had a full hit point bar to me for a second.
Oh, no, it's the very opposite of a full hit point bar.
So the dragon just kind of casts that and it dissipates, and there's like a static crackling in the air, like in the areas where it hit, and it just kind of slowly fizzles out. And then it just says once again, which one of you is holding the final orb? And that will end his turn. Bringing it to Trin Twilight.
Yeah, Trin, running and invisible.
You are heading here.
Suddenly start stumbling down the steps. What in the nine hells was that? As I take that super damage that just took half my health away. And then I'm going to use my action and my dash action to close the distance.
All right.
All right, and that's as far as I get. Am I up on a door? Like, what do I see?
Yeah. There's a door. It's a pretty simple but kind of ornate wooden door, reinforced with like a single bit of like iron bar across the center. It looks like it has a pretty simple locking mechanism on the outside.
Oh no, it's locked.
So I'm just gonna check this door out and end my turn.
All right. So, the Dragonborn War Wizard moves to put himself between Lucian, Fabian, and everybody else, and he begins to cast a spell, and he's going to target Godric with the spell. So, there's a bit of light that builds up in the tip of his finger, and he shoots a streak of fire at you, Godric. And he is going to roll a 25 to hit. Damn. Yeah, that's a hit. So, you have fire resistance, right? Yay, nay? You there?
He's pushed.
Yes, sir.
There
Okay.
we go.
All right, there we go. All right, so I'll apply half damage on you. There we go. All right. That ends his turn. He has his reaction. All right. That brings it to Godric. Finally.
Fight!
So waiting for this.
Godric has been staring quite heavily at this fucking dragon, taking the brunt of a lightning blast in the fucking chest as he kind of just grunts, rolls his shoulders, and looks at the dragon. He feels a beat that he's never felt before as his tattoos almost pulse and grow, being in the presence of a dragon for the first time.
Ooh,
close.
Kobold Max just granted you a critical.
How does that stack with his disadvantage?
Nostrovia.
Yeah, what? Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Feeling the pulse of my
It's
runes.
it's his to use, so he doesn't have to use it on his disadvantage attack.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I look at the dragon and begin speaking softly as I whisper out, Godric, lo to thee I see my father. Lo to thee I see my mother. Lo to thee I see my brothers and my sisters. Before you I see a dragon. And I, Godric, Anguson, bearer of the Dragon Slayer runes, will be your combatant today. As I rush and charge the dragon.
The dragon smiles a little bit, almost a smirk.
As I take that 5-foot gap, gripping my sword, wrapping tightly as I jump, swing, trying to swing towards its lower jaw, swinging with everything I have. Now, my first attack is with the disadvantage. So I can't activate my crit, right? Because
I mean, you can, but it would be a waste. You have to take the disadvantage.
Okay, I
Isn't
see.
automatic hit though?
Hmm?
Crits aren't
I
just
see
an
what
auto
Andy's
hit?
saying is I can't use my auto crit on my disadvantaged attack. Is what he's saying. I think.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
not allowed. He's not
so
allowed to cancel out store purchases like that. It's just
I'm
not
gonna
in the spirit
recklessly
of them.
attack. First, stating that I get advantage, but so it's gonna be a flat roll. So whatever appears on the left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
So we're
Gotcha.
gonna swing with just a regular greatsword. Does a 19 hit?
A 19 does not hit. I mean, it strikes him straight in the bottom of the jaw, but it does absolutely nothing.
All right. Kind of falling down, I grip my sword, tilt it to the right as I jump straight up, driving the blade, trying to drive the blade up into its lower jaw as I use my natural 20.
All right, man. That is going to be a hit. Roll that damage, buddy.
So I'm just going to roll the attack on the weapon because it'll give the damage, and I'll make it crit. I crit anyway.
That's fucking funny.
It was made to be.
Yeah, apparently.
Divine Fury, and then crit that. So, 20... Oh, fuck! Andy, do you mind if I say Great Weapon Fighter? Because I meant... No, you said I can't use that if I call it. You're right. I remember now. Called crits, I can't use my Great Weapon Fighter because the negative 10 wouldn't apply.
Yeah.
So, 16 plus 5 would be 21 plus 14. So, 35 points of damage right to its chin as a burst of white magical light erupts from my sword, creating a spear that stabs him right in the lower sword or lower jaw as I kind of rip up and land to the ground.
All right, sounds legit.
And then
you haven't unlocked the rune to ignore resistances yet, have you?
No. So as of right now, what runes I have Dragon Vitality. I get temp on my first rage of the day. I have Foresight. I can use the dodge action as a bonus action while raging. And then once per day, I can make a counter attack as an attack of opportunity, or using my reaction with a spell attack against you. That's all I have.
All right, solid hit. It doesn't pierce through, but it definitely hits the bottom, and you can see it jar its head to the side and like tilt it backwards, and it just looks down at you and stares.
So, since I crit, I get to use my bonus action to make another attack.
Yep, you sure do.
So
fucking
I'm going
go
to
for
use
it,
that
buddy.
attack. So I stab up, I rear down, flipping the blade in in a reverse grip as I kind of jab it into its chest.
All right, sounds good. See what you got, man. It's not gonna be good enough.
Doesn't hit.
Nope.
But actually, let me see what this does. Let me see if I can add this to the damage or attack before I do anything. Nope, that ends my turn then.
All right.
As I kind of just chink off its chest, and I just kind of look at it, growling, matching its just furious gaze as the ethereal hands of like dragon bones creep onto my shoulders once again.
Solid attempts, man. Solid attempts. That definitely chewed through the hardier than expected, man.
Max, I love you, you glorious bastard.
Good job, Max. Way to be here for the party and to help.
You're my hero.
All right, can you pass your turn?
Please.
There you go. You made me miss one text though, but I got a crit in, so thank you.
Yep. Can you pass your turn?
Thank you for the reminder. I was busy screaming while muted.
Yep, I noticed. Katarina! What we got going on, girl?
Right. So the first thing I want to do is point at Godric and look at the dragon and be like, that's him. That's the one that's got the orb.
All right.
Because I know Godric does not want the dragon to take his attention off of him.
All right. Are you actually trying to persuade it as like an action? Or are you just having fun?
I was mostly just having fun.
Okay, it's fine. I just want to make sure. Oh yeah, it looks up at you for a second, looks back down at him, and then just continues going on about its business. Mean mugging Mike.
I have nothing but a smile on.
And then I'll turn around to Locke. I definitely appreciate the help. And then I will use Chill Touch on that cultist that's right behind him.
This one? Oh, you said Locke. This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Use that Chill Touch, yo.
Oops, I clicked it twice. The first one is a 14 to hit.
Ooh, I believe that is going to be a miss. It sure is.
All right. Well, I don't have any bonus actions worth anything, so I think that's going to be it for me.
It's never over, Isaac. It's never over. All right. So, that brings us down to this guy who... Okay, yeah, there he is. All right. So, following the lead of the other cultist, this one also runs to Locke and attacks him. Makes an attack roll, and that is going to be a miss. Well, the cultists just aren't coming through at all tonight. Rough.
Good.
All right.
It's okay, they have a dragon to do all the work for them.
All right. Fabian continues working on dispelling the magical barrier. Bringing it to Nikolai.
Right, I'm gonna back up to my friends over here, kind of going back to back, and say, this is quite a dilemma, eh, friends? And then I'm going to use a bonus action to once again try to cast Spiritual Weapon. This time I'm going to cast it behind the two cultists, see if I can get their attention away from Locke.
All right.
I'm going to do my bonus action first. And it comes up with a 25 to hit.
25 to hit. That is most likely going to hit depending on where you cast it. Where'd you want it?
Here, behind the two cultists, right in that square.
And which one are you attacking?
I'm going to attack that guy.
That guy, huh? And what'd you roll to hit?
So,
Oh, he's dead.
25.
Oh, yeah. Boom.
So once again...
Comes in solid and just dead.
Nikolai raised his hand and a shadow passes from his feet. Like his shadow just elongates out from underneath him, stretches out to that other area, and out of the shadow melts this giant farm scythe. Strikes across the cultist, and you see like his breath leave his body, and this little misty blackness comes out, and he just crumples to the floor.
Fucking legit.
And then I'll turn to the two of them and say, "We stick together. We'll get through this." And then I'm going to use my action to drink a superior healing potion because I needs to. I definitely needs to.
You sure do. So Zambies, you know, someone in our chat was real fucking mean, and like I don't know, dropped a whole bunch of fucking money to buff the enemies and stuff, and you know, half the party's health like right away, like immediately everybody took half health because of the legendary drain. So things aren't super great.
No, they are not.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna stand here. It's okay, that's fine. I'm trying to stand between this cultist and the two of them, so that's fine. I'm good. I was gonna move up, but I'm fine. I want to protect Locke too.
Okay.
Andy,
And
I think I know what I want to use. I fucked up the audio log. I think I know what I use it for. We can make a
Awesome.
notification that makes it looks like a present opens up, and the name of what has been purchased in the point store gets triggered. So if someone buys like an auto crit, all you hear is "I fucked up."
All right, this guy.
So we're gonna fix that. This final cultist rushes over, seeing what just happened to spiritual weapon. He avoids it and goes for Katarina. Boom. Rolling to attack. That is going to be a 21 to hit.
No.
Yep, just a little bit.
You are going
Sounds
to
like
take
a big number.
2 slashing hit damage. So boom.
That's like
okay.
1/4 of her health.
Yep.
You're fine, right, Katarina? You're fine.
All right. That ends the
Yeah,
cultist's
I've
turn,
got. Yeah.
bringing it to the top of the round. So you hear the sounds of more cultists as additional ones come into the room from this side. More fighting in the halls ringing out, and you begin to hear the alarm bells of the city ringing as well over all the fighting. Down below, Guillermo and his guards seem to dispatch more of the cultists, leaving only a few remaining, paltry few remaining down below, barring his path up to where you are.
Secretly hoping Guillermo is a real badass.
The reason it's off center, just to let you know, is because when we type in chat and not whisper somebody, it pulls everyone's view there. So we should not post in generic chat.
Boom. So, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I need to put more enemies on the map. All right, let me do that real quick. So 2 more come through the door. And they will roll into initiative. All right. Locke, it is your turn.
Okay. So.
Zambi's redeemed. Give greater health potion. Who wants it? She says to whomever needs this the most.
Oh,
Godric needs it.
me. Zambi, pick me. Pick me.
Give it.
I got zapped in the face by
I
lightning.
don't have any potions.
I have a cleric. Let the cleric live.
The cleric's tanking pretty good with his AC.
Okay, but the dex save killed me.
It happens.
Can't you see?
And then give greater health potion to the next person who needs it. So she did
Alright,
it
I'll
again.
take that one.
All right, so Godric and Nikolai get greater health potions.
Y'all.
Okay, the greater health potions are what? 44 plus 4?
I'll look it up for you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zambis. I appreciate your kindness and generosity, as opposed to someone else in our lovely chat who is the opposite of kind and generous.
He's just
Very
kind and
unkind and
generous.
ungenerous.
His kindness just kind of sounds a little evil. He's still
Thank
a
you,
good guy
Zambis, for
overall.
that. Thank you for spending those points. Thank you for being in the channel. Anybody who's not following Zambi, she's a wonderful and amazing artist, miniature painter, sketchbook artist, does all sorts of stuff. She changes her hair color. It's great. She also has an adorable German Shepherd, because apparently we are only friends with streamers who have German Shepherds on this channel, just like we do. How's Asha, right? And she's sleeping. She don't care right now. But make sure you go ahead and drop her a follow, say hi, drop by sometime, and just get to know her. She's great. We love you. All right, Locke, now that's taken care of.
We love you way more than we love the store, even though we still do love the store.
Yeah, everybody loves the store.
Contractually obligated.
Love it. Love the store. Anyways.
So much. I can't even explain.
So,
the depth of love.
Mike, it is 44 plus 4, so I'm just going to roll that in the chat so we can show everyone.
Yeah.
So I got 14 hit points back. Zambis, you're a lifesaver. Thank
Now,
you.
do we get the potion, or does it automatically heal us?
You get the potion in your
No!
inventory.
You have to
Yeah.
use your action to drink
Okay.
it.
Well, then I'll make this go away.
Okay,
Oh.
friends.
Oh, what?
Thank you for clarifying.
Bitch.
You are welcome.
Okay, Locke raises his hands and begins casting a spell.
Does he now?
He does.
It's not time for cantrips right now, Locke.
No, it's
Pull
not.
out the big gun.
There's a lot of counter spell out there.
Yeah, I got my spell out. You should be fine.
Maybe.
Magic
All right.
missile?
Yeah.
Who are you targeting?
It's a classic.
Okay, that first bolt, unless that counts all of them. I don't know how it's just one. Okay, so that first bolt, let's go into that guy.
All right. Roll for damage, please.
5.
Or did you already? 5?
Yeah.
Oh, 5. Solid hit. He actually, like, one of his arms comes off at the, gets sliced off, like, at the elbow, and it just drops to the floor. And he immediately, like, cradles it and drops his weapon.
Neat. He can stay that way. The next bolt. Another full damage goes
Ooh.
to this one.
Justin, shut the fuck up.
What?
That's 5. This
Correct.
one slices, not nearly as direct because of the way he's moving to attack you. You kind of have to back, you like, as you're backing up to cast, it goes around and whips through like the back of his thigh, and he kind of leans forward from the hit and just, like tries to hold it back, but he's still standing.
All right, and then the last bolt is gonna go for the cult leader. 1 second.
On Yahtzee.
Let's see it.
I'm gonna use
Let's
the
see a
rest of
5. Let's see
your
it.
fingers.
Max damage. Oh, boo-doo.
Very much opposite of max damage.
Sorry, everyone. I can't get that many good rolls in a row. It's not allowed.
So this one kind of goes wide. The dart looks like it's going to be directed. He just slides, and it just like right over the top of his shoulder into the ground behind him.
All right. Well, then, after Locke to cast that spell, he raised his hand up, and they just kind of flew out. The 3 darts flew straight up, and then came down like mortars on top of them. And then he splayed his arms outward, and I use a charge of my oh god, it's the ability, and I can't ever remember its name. Power Surge, to add 4 force damage to each bolt.
Okay, so like for a next cast, are you casting it again, or
No, it's all one action. So I used the Power Surge on the casting of the first level spell.
all right? Yeah. So more streaks of magic come out, and the one while he's trying to hold on his arm, the next bolt just goes straight through his like head and comes out the other side, immediately putting him down.
Yeah, sorry, the push to talk kind of ruined it. But what I was imagining is after I cast
Oh,
the spell,
Lethal Lilith,
I,
thank you so much for that sub. We really appreciate it. Woo woo! Happy Friday, says Lethal Lilith. Thank you so much for joining us. You're an amazing individual, Lethal Lilith, and the party had some suffering tonight. We had some legendary drain and some other crazy stuff purchased from the tip panels down below on our channel landing page, so they could definitely use the moral support at the moment.
Sorry, my push to talk kind of ruined my description. When I put my arms out, it was like there was a crack of thunder that came out and did the extra damage.
All
Just
right.
for flavor.
Okay.
Flavor.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Does that end your turn? Sir?
That does end my turn.
That does end your turn. All right. So, he, the cultist leader, turns to the ones that came through the door. Go! Hurry up and join the fight, you fools! And then he, basically walks up to you, Nikolai, just kind of continuing his path of wanting to deal with you. He once again makes two multi-attacks against you. Making 2 scimitar attacks. and adding his fanatical advantage to one of them. So the first attack will be a 22 to hit, which hits.
Oh no! I'm so glad I drank that potion.
So you will take 2 slashing damage, which is basically nothing. Do you want to apply these, or do you want me to apply them?
I got it. Thank you.
Okay. The second attack, unfortunately, is a critical.
No, it's not. Use my reaction. It's to hashtag nope that thing.
Hashtag
So
nope that thing.
I'm going to use my.
Hashtag nope, everybody. Let's see it in the chat.
Roll.
Hashtag nope and some faith emotes.
As a reaction, a creature I can see within 30 feet, myself, first critical hit, I can turn that hit into a normal hit. Any effects of the critical canceled. So, nope.
All right. So you instead take that much damage. I applied it.
The Pope of Nope.
All right.
Thank you. Right.
Sounds like a plan. All right. That ends his turn.
Kind of like with a name like Sentinels at Death Door, I kind of imagine just like shadow eyes appearing right in front of him and just like scaring him into like just like hesitating a little bit to get a little less extra effort out of his swing.
Sure thing. Sounds normally. totally plausible. Mirkos, let's see. What's he got in his little inventory here? What? No, you did not. That's got to be an old notification. Are you honestly trying to kill the party? Like, right now? Like, what are you doing? Is that an old notification or what? Is that an old notification, Texo?
No, that's new. That's new.
That's new.
That's new.
Bane everyone but Alex and Terra.
Oh, fucking shit, dude. Wow.
What did he do?
He baned everybody but Alex and Terra.
So
You're all now under the effects of Bane.
D4 to all your rolls for the next 10 rounds.
Oh, there's a macro that lets us do that, right, guys? I didn't include the Bane one because I was like, I'm never gonna Bane myself. No.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Me and Tex will Bane you, I guess. I'm sorry, guys. I'll stop egging him on.
I told you to shut the fuck up. You're a guest. You're a guest. We're permanent here. Get the fuck out.
You're about to be permanently fucking dead.
You're not permanent here, yeah.
Of course, they don't have a baned. So I'll just use. I'll just use cursed.
Whoever finds it, let me know.
Yeah, and it won't let me grab like the Bane ability. It says I don't have permissions.
Oh, there's the statuses.
So I'm just using cursed.
Oh, I found Bane.
Where's it under?
Community macros.
Thank you. Community?
For 5e. Yeah, for 5e. So you go over to the macros. It should say Foundry Virtual Tabletop Community Macros D&D 5e. And it's the second one down.
Wow, that is so true. Thank you for that, Bane. Locke is fucked.
Super duper fucking
now's your chance
rough.
to roll a 0.
Yeah, so negative D4 for permanently, right?
It's for 10 rounds.
Yeah, 10 rounds.
Yeah, so basically it's probably gonna last the whole fight.
Yeah, you guys can dispel the effect if you have a dispel magic. But it's that's your guys' choice. It's fucking rough to stack on top of everything else, dude. You, sir, are a fucking monster, man. That's fucking fucked up, dude.
I can't cast it on myself either because
that is so fucked up. Someone should clip those, dude. We could have like a fucking mantra, like highlight reel of him just trying to murder you all. That's ridiculous. Oh, dude. Dude. All right, so.
How did you activate it?
How did I? Are you talking to me?
it's my macro's locked. Get in that one.
You just got to remember, you don't actually have to put it on yourself if you can't. Just roll that extra d4 and minus it.
We're good.
Yeah. All right, so Mirkos. What was I fucking doing? Oh, yeah, he cast Burning Hands. At fucking Alric and Godric. That's what he was doing. Burning Hands. Why is it not letting me turn that?
Zambies, calm down.
All right, well, either way, it hits the both of you. Whatever. It's not letting me turn it around for some reason.
I mean, Zambies isn't wrong.
So, I need you both to make DC 16. What? No fucking way, dude. All right, dude, you're gonna have to stop spending fucking money, dude. No fucking way, man. No, like, dude, I know that you got a $1,400 stimulus text, but you don't need to like completely finance the fucking stream, dude. Like, let some other people do it. Other people got stimulus checks. Other people got stimulus checks.
Thank you.
So DC 16 dex save.
We are so grateful.
Oh my god, dude. You fucking amazing individual. I just don't understand. Just, dude, like, buy something for yourself. Isn't there something you want somewhere? Like, we appreciate it, but damn, bro. You know, fucking apparently, dude.
That's such an honor.
He's buying our death for himself, and he's happy about it.
Yeah.
He wants us to start a fresh campaign, apparently.
He failed saves. Oh, fuck. You guys better hope the dragon doesn't use his fucking breath weapon.
Oh, geez.
So, I need DC 16 dex save from Godric and from Alric as he brings his hands together in like a triangle, and there's just a flash of light, like fucking TN from DBZ, just boom, just outwards.
Jesus.
Alright, he's gonna use 50 on Alex and Terra for Bane.
If I could figure out how to roll a dex save, I totally would
Katarina
right
and
now.
Trin, you just got baned. Listen, click on your character sheet and go to your attributes page.
Yep.
And underneath each attribute should be a left side and a right side with what looks like modifiers. The right side, if you highlight over it, actually says saving throw. Just click that.
Click that? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Then Katarina and
Oh my god.
Trin got baned.
Yeah, so those are
Yeah,
two fails. So the blast of searing white light like gets like in your eyes, and like there's like a really powerful like sulfur smell that just goes up in your nose, and the flash and heat comes off and like kind of singes your guys' face. Or Alric's face mostly. Godric, you feel kind of just like a searing like warmth just kind of across your body for the most part. So
Luckily, it's still hacked.
oh, that's why that's happening. Okay, so
Well, luckily, he can't use it for that.
All right, selected token. Damage applied. All right. That's...
Oh, you did it. Okay.
Yeah, I did it. I did it for you. If you already did it, then just add the HP
No,
back.
I was waiting to.
All right, so with that, he kind of just brings his like arms together and like in front of him, holds it there, and then you start to see like a shimmering magical field kind of start to spread out a little bit in front of him, and that will end his turn. Bring it to Alric, who has a stolen sword to hit him with.
I do, but I look around at everybody and how badly we're faring, and my hands are trembling anyway at the sight of this dragon, so...
Oh, the Azig redeems grant a player critical. Who's that going to? Alric.
Alric.
Are you gonna save that for when you have your like actual real weapons? Hopefully.
In the face.
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely gonna save it because right now I'm taking a step back.
Ooh.
Let's go here.
It's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see how it works out.
I reach into the satchel that's hidden behind my cloak. and I pull out the black dragon orb, holding it high above my head and focusing on it. I have no idea how to use it. I'm just going to look at the red dragon and will everything I can into making the orb do something for it.
So,
for us.
as you pull it out, the dragon is fighting Godric, right? Godric is just like striking it multiple times. It literally just basically stops giving a shit that he's hitting him, looks right past him at you, and it just, there's this big grin, and it like its tongue just comes out and like comes across like outwards, like snake-like, and comes back in, and it just, oh, so there it is, you, and he raises one claw and just points it at you. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna whisper you real quick, Justin. So look out for that in a second.
Okay.
And Texil says that if there's a save involved, he fails it.
Here's to our friend Alaric.
He was a great guest.
Oh my god! What is happening tonight? What is happening?
Have some faith.
Well, you don't know. You're not even there. You're off lurking, being invisible, away from all danger.
Okay, I sent you the whisper, Justin. I gotta look something up real quick.
No.
Going as quickly as I can.
Yeah, you'll get to witness our first zero session. Is what's gonna happen, Zambies.
300 years later, after the fallout of all this, comes a new party of adventurers.
Okay.
Adventures in New Terrowyn.
So.
Felt a great disturbance in the force.
I'm so scared right now.
So.
Me too.
What
Almost no weapons.
Am I gonna? Can I do this?
You have a spooky ethereal death sign.
Did you add this to your inventory, Justin?
I did not, because I didn't know if it was the standard item or if they were different in Terrowyn.
Okay. So.
Oh no.
What we are going to do is we are going to go to break, and we're going to take a little 15-minute intermission, and we're going to have to discuss this real quick off screen, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to figure out what I need to do.
All right.
So don't you go over there. Thank you so much for the subs. You guys are just wonderful and amazing individuals. Thank you so much for just, all the support. Let's see what we got here. Thank you so much, Prozac. 17 months, man. Amazing. We really appreciate it. We also got a couple of follows over the last few days since Monday. JMO157136, thank you for the follow. We appreciate it. Welcome to the Hall of Legends. Benny Ben 1234467, thank you so much for the follow. Zadie Gal, thank you for the follow. You're amazing. Wonderful. Also, thank you so much for the follow. The amazing art of Mike Disney, who is, I believe, a real personal good friend of Zambies. Thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate it, buddy. You're awesome as well, and everybody should follow you as well. Make sure to go check out art of Mike Disney. Lethal Lilith, thank you so much. 18 months, tier 1. Woot woot, happy Friday. We love having you here. Thanks for the greater health potions, all the disadvantages. Neptune, thank you so much for gifting those subs, you wonderful individual. You're a fucking legend. And Texil, thank you so much for the ridiculous amount of fucking money you just dumped into the channel today, man. We love you, dude. Thank you so much. That being said, we're going to go to this break, and we're going to be right back in about 10-15 minutes-ish. So don't you go anywhere. We're going to be right back.
Hold on.
Nope.
Hold on. Wait.
Nope.
Wait. Giveaway.
You're a giveaway.
We'll solve that when we come back.
What?
Well, we can open the giveaway now and let them log in for tickets.
Yeah, here.
Yeah,
we can do it while we're on the break screen.
It's true.
All right,
Yeah, I'm gonna start the giveaway right now. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
we're gonna start the giveaway.
So,
Weren't here.
for the
It's for the reroll keys.
Yeah, so if you weren't here earlier, tonight we have a special giveaway from our friends over at Reroll. They were kind enough to share their awesome product with us, and now with their help, we can share it with you. Tonight we are going to be giving away a premium copy of Reroll. It has 14 supported races, 150 weapons, 20 plus mini bases, 400 plus armor pieces for you to mix and match. You can keep track of your character's progress with a character sheet that's built into the application, and you can bring your characters to life in beautiful pixel art. So make sure to get in there over the break. Get in on this giveaway.
Let's see. So, as Alric pulls this basically jet black, almost crystal orb with the with almost like it's sitting in the hand of a dragon claw, like this brass dragon claw kind of holding it. He kind of holds it together with two hands. It's just rather large. And as he does, he speaks a like magic command word, and there is a like almost like all of the oxygen is kind of pulled out of the room. Suddenly, there's just no sound being made, and there's just like a low, almost wobbling feeling to the surrounding objects in the room. Like the ground kind of shakes. Everything feels like it's distorting and warping in your line of sight. And then as he raises it up, you can see blood from his wounds almost start kind of coming up, like levitating out of his body in droplets, and it starts seeping into the dragon orb, just drop by drop. And then there's a light, very, very light, almost dim greenish glow that starts to kind of come from the inside. And it pulses a couple of times. And then streaks of magical light just dart out from within the dragon orb, and they strike the red dragon. So why don't we roll those attacks?
All right.
Actually, you know what? I might be able to do it faster than you. Did it show up in your inventory?
No, it's still not populating.
Okay, we'll have to fix that afterwards. So I will do this simply instead. Oh, dude. You just fucking Yahtzee that max damage. As they strike into the dragon, cutting into its wings and slashing through his scales, just like chipping some of them and cracking them like right in the middle. The dragon kind of yells and roars. It's that deafening loud roar just kind of goes through the chamber again. You guys have to like cover your ears to protect them. You do 20 force damage. Damn, dude.
I like it.
Good roll, man. Way to go.
Thanks, it was all me. Okay.
All right.
And then I will finish the rest of my move. Because that dragon's mad. Oh.
Oh, he might be.
Should we switch back to battle cam?
Yeah, now that we're on there. Just wanted to describe that. And there we go. Okay.
Yeah, I'll move down a little bit further. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yep. And try to pull, if the dragon's going to be chasing me down, I want to pull him away from the rest of the group.
All right. Your intent is noted.
And then I end my pathetic turn.
Your pathetic turn.
No.
Like the pathetic mortal you are. All right.
This is where the bad guys go.
Which brings it up to Lucian. Who?
Speaking of bad guys.
Continues working on dispelling the barrier, trying to access Jacqueline. And he's going to just keep working on that.
Sorry, jeez, I didn't think you guys could see that crap.
Of course we can.
All the measurements.
Yes.
You know what I saw was a wizard planning out his turn before it's his turn, and it made me happy.
I know, right?
Well, it's not letting me select it to get rid of it now.
I think. Can you access the panels on the left side underneath the anvil?
I got it now.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, everyone.
Should be sorry. So, yeah. So you strike it with the magic, and the fucking dragon roars as it comes basically down, slamming its front two claws in the ground, like in front of Godric as he's attacking it. It just, yeah, he makes a fucking beeline straight for you, granting Godric an attack of opportunity, which he can now take. You are muted. I cannot hear you, sir.
I'm going to recklessly Great Weapon Fighter it too.
All right.
2 natural ones.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Wow. You're welcome to the club, friend.
Yeah. You do not need fucking disadvantage for that. Fucking, all right, man. So, yeah. So I'm going to go with that's a miss, sir.
How you feel right now?
Just fine, because it was a reactionary attack. It wasn't the main thing to get us out of hell, you know?
Fair enough. So,
Wow, low blow.
low blow.
I've been assaulted tonight, verbally, mentally, and like almost physically by people. I just responded. I apologize. Hey Zig, who do you grant this critical to?
Why?
True.
Rushes straight
there's
up
a big
to
old
you.
dragon moving up into your face.
So he rushes straight up to you.
And I was excited. I mean, I'll take it. I'm still gonna have dragons, so fine.
And he makes a multi-attack as he attempts to like rend you apart with the claws. So makes 2 attacks with his claws. And the first one is going to be a 20 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And he's only going to do 5 slashing. That's a low roll. The second one is going to be a miss,
Night, Zambies.
I believe. Where's your AC? Yeah, that's a miss. Just barely. Barely. So, the first claw, like you hear, he comes straight for you, just stepping right over Godric and Mirkos, like, and comes right at you. The first claw comes really high, slashing downwards. You, like, roll to the side as he cleaves straight through the statue, like, behind you with its wide reach, and then cuts through the marble underneath you. As he raises his other claw, though, he kind of just jabs it forward, and you're just barely able to, like, sidestep as he kind of clips you with the scales on his forearm. And then that will end his turn, bringing it to Trin Twilight.
Yeah, Trin's turn.
Trin's turn.
So I'm at this door, and I'm gonna look around and see if there's anything in my immediate vicinity I could use to get through this lock. I don't have any locksmithing tool. So maybe there's something I can use to like pry. So I'm guessing it's a lock that's like built into the door.
No, it's a padlock on the outside.
Like it's a padlock. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any tools, so I'm gonna look around in my immediate vicinity and see if there's anything I can like grab to break it open, like smack it?
There are what look like torches on the walls next to you.
I'm gonna
There and
run
here.
over and grab the torches and try and use them and some leverage to pry the lock off and get access through the door.
All right, sure thing. Give me a strength check.
Just a general strength check.
Yeah, an athletics check.
Athletics.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's good enough. You lean into it with all of your goblin might, all of your very little upper body strength, and you just break it, snap it off, and it drops to the floor, and the door kind of partially swings open towards you.
I'm gonna run in there. I don't think that this applied the bane to it though. It says I'm screwed, but I don't know. Let me just double check. So is a 13 still enough?
Yeah, it's still enough.
Okay. I don't want to screw Texil out of what he got.
Well, then do it right the first time before you let me go describing shit.
Well, I had the bane on, and it just didn't apply apparently. I don't know. So I run in there and I try and search for our stuff.
Yeah, it's all right there. It's all kept on the center table in the small chamber. It looks like it's some sort of maybe side armory or additional armor. You don't have to move your character in there because there's nothing in the map there. It's fine, dude.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if we were accounting for movement, kind of.
No. You kind of just run in and you see everybody's equipment there.
All right. First, I grab my stuff, and then
that makes sense.
And then I'm gonna use my free action and my to grab my stuff as much as I can, and then I'm gonna look at everyone else's stuff and try and figure out exactly how am I getting out of here with all this. As I stand there tapping my tin as I have my turn.
All right, sounds good. So Amias sees down there, and he begins casting a spell at Locke, Katarina, and Nikolai. A small bit of magic begins to coalesce in his hand and begins lighting up. And he
counterspell.
Counterspell.
Thank you, Katarina.
Ooh, all right. Right. So as he attempts to coalesce it once again, the nature of you being a sorcerer just catches him off guard. So he goes to cast it, and you just immediately react with without just the general gestures he's used to seeing from a wizard, and the magic spell goes out in his hand. All right. So
Who saved us?
he loses that spell. All right. He did that too. All right. Let's get rid of that real quick as well. Nice. Good job. It's a big deal. You saved everybody a lot of damage. Congratulations.
Yay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I needed it. So, totally selfish, really.
Yeah, selfish is okay as long as it helps everybody else, you know what I mean? So, all right. That ends his turn. Bringing it to Godric.
Smash.
Godric smash.
Godric would like to throw hissy fit because dragon ran away.
Yeah.
No.
Ran away or ignored? Which one's making you more mad?
Both. Option C, all of the above.
All right.
Growling out,
All right.
reaches into his pouch and pulls out a potion, and just doesn't even think about it, and just bites off the cap and slams it back.
All right,
He's
Azig's giving you a crit.
glass. Well, never mind. I'm not going to drink the potion.
But it could be a critical potion now. Isn't that how that works? It works that way?
Fuck. Okay, do I hit the fucking...
Okay.
Cleric's still up. Go for it. Get in there.
Growling, I just kind of look at Marcos and then look at the dragon. Sucks to be you! And I just wind up and swing right at his head. And I would like to use my critical on Marcos.
All right.
I got a... Sorry, I don't have my thingy. 1 second. Sorry. Okay, so I get... We're going to go here, and then boom, and then boom, and then boom. So he's going to take 30... Hang on. 13 plus 9 is going to be 22. 22 plus 9 is 31. 31 plus 6 is 37 points of damage. As I just kind of strike him across his neck.
Woo! Yeah.
Yep.
How much?
35 points of damage.
Okay, let's see. Did you use Great Weapon Master?
Sorry, no.
No, that's right, because you took a nat 20. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure I did the math right. 13 plus 9 is 22. 22 plus 9 is 31. 31 plus is 37 points of damage. I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, he tries to protect himself with the magic shield, but you just make mincemeat out of him. It, like, basically goes straight into his head and just splits it right in, and he just rolls back and starts twitching out and falls to the ground dead.
I kind of, have to, wiggle the blade out as I kind of just chuck it out of his head. Breathing heavy as I look at the dragon, and I begin running at it.
Okay.
I'm attempting to... Fuck, I don't know if this is a thing. I want to just fucking try to scale this motherfucker on his back and strike it. Depending how big it is.
It's pretty fucking big.
I don't know, yeah, so, am I grappling this motherfucker? Can I just attempt to jump up and just dig its blade into the back as I kind of just try to claw my way to its top or towards its, neck and shit?
I mean, you can do whatever you want. It just doesn't really grant you any kind of an advantage.
It's thematic as fuck. It sounds dope, which is what I'm doing. Again, I'm going to Great Weapon Fighter recklessly attack this thing.
Yeah. You just have to accept the consequences of, let's say, it decides it wants to fly with you on the back and turns over.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We're indoors.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's going to stop it.
I don't hit.
I
forget that I have... It's flat rolls because the Bane. So I'm gonna do the same thing because I have an extra attack due to Great Weapon Fighter. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Natural 20, bitch. Woo! Woo! Natural 20 with Great Weapon Fighter, and I would like to use Goading Strike.
Well, it's a flat roll, right? So it's the one on the left. Because of Bane.
No, I'm reckless. I said I was reckless with Great Weapon Fighter.
Then why didn't your other one hit?
Yeah.
Why did it apply to the other one?
I rolled a 6 and a 4 on my other one.
But then why did the Bane matter?
So the reason the Bane matters is because I rolled a 3 on my Bane, which is a -3. I -5 to do Great Weapon Fighter.
Yeah, well, that's my point, though, right? So Bane still applies to this roll. You're not rolling at advantage, even if you Great Weapon, Reckless Attack.
Bane is a -D4.
Yeah.
So I'm still rolling with advantage because Reckless Attack grants me advantage, which allows me to crit, and crits ignore Bane.
Oh, yeah,
Oh my-
so you're not at disadvantage. Never mind. I'm just tripping.
I was
guess.
tripping. I was like, wait, what? What
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, that's a hit then. Let me get on that.
And then so I want to use this ability. Now it's a little weird because I have to do it after I hit. I'll let you decide if I'm able to crit with it or not. But I want to use Goading Strike. When you hit with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority dice to add the total damage to the total damage, and the target must make a Wisdom saving throw, or have disadvantage on all attacks that aren't against me until the end of my turn.
Well, the crit amplifies whatever dice are rolled, so it says after the attack, right?
Yeah, it says when you hit with a weapon. I just wanted
when
to
you
make
hit
sure
with a weapon, so it's a part of the weapon attack.
Cool. Then I need to roll. I need to grab that macro because I want to crit it. So
it should just be an extra D8, right?
yeah, and he can just manually add damage. It's fine. I'm gonna roll just 2d8 because I crit. 10. So 10, 20, 30, 45, 46. No, just 45. 45, ignore the fire rune. I don't know why it's there on extra, so just ignore it. So yeah, 10. No, fuck, it's 10. 25, it's 35. 35 points of damage exactly. Because I'm only hitting with slashing, I'm only hitting with 2 slashings and the fire. The runes, sorry. The fucking goading strike.
Alright, so what kind of save does it need to do?
A DC 16 wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
So something's probably good at.
Yeah, that's going to be a 17.
Figured, it's fine. But yeah, I still just kind of dig into its back, clawing up, trying to get close towards its head.
Yep. You're trying. It's like your weapon is trying to dig into it, but it's hard, like making it work through the thick like back plates of the red dragon. Like it's just you're finding a hard time like just gaining ground, and every time it like shifts or moves as it's kind of coming after Alric, you're just barely hanging on as like you're trying to climb up towards it. Right.
Awesome.
Does that
By
end
the
your
way,
turn?
yes, it does. Also, Azig, you're awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, good job, Isaac. That's a lot of fucking damage.
Oh, those guys. I'm just runaway scared.
All right.
No, everybody's bleeding.
So, the cultists over here, listening to their leader, immediately rush over to try and assist. So he comes over and attacks Nikolai with a scimitar attack. That's going to be a miss as you deflect it masterfully with your weapon. That's going to be in his
I'm
turn.
weaponless. It's just
Dodo, two fly. Thank you so much for that 10,000 biddies or 1,000 biddies, sir. Thank you. It's much appreciated. That puts you at the top of our leaderboard for the month, which means you will get as long as you stay there, you'll be getting a personalized gift from one of the cast and crew members shipped directly to you, or given directly to you, because I know where you are. I'll just give it to you. Just give it to you like we did last time. But thank you so much, Dodo. Nice to see you back. That brings it to Katarina. What's up, Kat? Come on, Kit Kat. What you got?
All right.
You shut up, sir.
I am going to use a sorcerer point to do a twinned spell.
Ooh.
Phew.
And I think I am going to throw a chromatic orb, one at Lucian and one at Fabian.
Oh, yeah, get him.
All right, that sounds super awesome. The Dragonborn's wizard counterspells you.
Oh my god.
Oh.
All right.
So-
Then nothing happens.
So he will then spend his last 3rd level spell slot on casting Counterspell.
So does he counterspell both spells? Because twin spell is 2 spells.
Depends on how you want to interpret it. I see it as 2 spells wrapped around each other. And you get the double effect. Depends on how she wants it to work.
One spell slot, right?
Yeah, it's only 1 spell slot, I believe.
Yeah, it's 1 spell slot, so I think it would cancel both.
Either way, that's
As
how we'll
much
rule
as
it for
I don't
tonight,
want
and
it
we'll look
to.
into it another day. Does that end your turn? That's his last 3rd level spell slot, though, so no more counterspells from him. Checking to see if there's anything you want to do. Okay, there we go.
Sorry, I just ended my turn. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so-
it for me.
At this point, there is a big push of magic from Fabian, and like a huge portion of the shield just disintegrates and like starts falling apart, and like almost the shield is like almost completely gone at this point now. There's only maybe like the frontal section and like 180 degrees of it, and you see the 2 royal guards on the inside, and the rest of the advisor are like panicking. The knights kind of step forward, in an attempt to get ready. And that will end Fabian's turn. Okay. So the other cultist runs over to attack Nikolai as well. You're popular, dude. What can we say?
Attack the old weaponless man. I see how it is.
All right. So he attacks. You are now being mobbed, so they now, all 3 of them now have advantage on their attack rolls against you. So, scimitar, and it's a really bad roll anyways. It doesn't fucking matter. So, as once again, you just masterfully deflect his attacks. They're trying as hard as they can to get through your armor. Like as you go to block him, you can feel like the other scimitars like slash across your plate armor and hit your chest plates. Some of it kind of catching on like your undergarments underneath, and you kind of become really aware of your kind of exposed underarms, like right in your armpit area. But they're not finding any luck. And it's his turn, bringing it to Nikolai.
Okay,
Let's go,
first
buddy.
up, I'm going to use my bonus action to make my spiritual weapon move 20 feet. To move the token.
Boom.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And they said to attack cultist leader.
All right, sounds good. Roll that attack, buddy. Roll it. Roll it. What do we got? Oh,
23 to hit.
Yes, that's definitely a fucking hit. So you hit him.
For 12 force damage.
12 force damage. All right, solid hit. Hits him like in the back, pushes him forward. You sound like it definitely sounds like something broke near his shoulder or on his back somewhere, and he's kind of like his arm is barely working now, and it's kind of like dragging behind him as he tries to raise his sword to attack.
Okay. At that point, I'm going to turn to Fabian and say, "You have betrayed your queen. Now you must face fate." And I'm going to use my cleric ability called, or my channel divinity.
Ooh, channel divinity.
Path to the grave. There we go.
Mass heal all 5 HP.
Hey!
Ooh, everybody
Isaac,
had
thank
5p.
you.
Thank you so much, Isaac. They needed it. Add
Oh my
5
God!
HP to your character sheets, ladies and gentlemen.
You're my hero.
Before we move on, make sure everybody adds their 5 hit points, please.
Yes, there's channel points that help us, Lethal.
Yeah, Lethal. That's what I meant when I said like they could really use your help. I didn't say spend real money. I was just like, I know you got points.
I
gotta
know
have
you're
some.
right, Jared. Your
I
points,
think
Jared.
people could stay lethal and make this fight interesting. Tech hasn't done enough.
Stop it. Stop what you're doing, Justin. Just stop it.
I have the power to mute you. I will take your voice away, good sir. I'll pan you in the
different way.
I'll pan you in the chat too. Take your forms of communication away.
All right. Don't forget, this channel divinity puts a charge on your Warhammer.
Would if I had my mace? Would
No,
I?
does it anyways.
Dodo 2 fly with another mass heal.
Okay.
Yeah, it does it anyways. It's a magical connection between your channel divinity and your weapon. So Trin, what you see when you're like picking up his mace is it just like flashes like brilliant magic for a second, like while you're moving it, you just kind of like put it under your arm.
That's the pick me. That's the pick me light.
Yep.
I need to get a little bit closer to Fabian. So I took 5 steps, 5-foot step, invoking an attack of opportunity from that guy.
You sure did.
I was pointing at Fabian when I hurt him.
All right, so yeah, he's gonna take that opportunity to make an attack against you.
And we have Lethal Lilith and Dodo both drop mass heals.
And those
so
are gonna
everyone
be
gets
miss. An additional 10?
Another mass heal.
Girl. They're trying to keep you guys alive, man. They're undoing your hard work, Texo. Undoing it.
Thank you. Oh gosh.
I don't know if you
Filled
undid it,
with
but you
righteousness.
helped a lot. I won't lie.
Justice.
Attack still hurts.
Okay.
Yeah,
So bonus action.
it's about to.
I cursed him. So that is
So-
Nikolai's turn.
So,
Oh, top of the order, Jesus.
the top of the order,
The guy.
the
has-
last...
So the Sentinel of the Grave. You see the shadow kind of stretches out from Nikolai and wraps around Fabian, and then you just see like this shadow figure like put his fingers on his shoulders. It's cursed, and then
All right. Yeah, so he kind of shudder. You can see him like actually physically shudder from it and kind of stand up straight, and then goes back to concentrating on what he's doing. So down here, Guillermo and his one surviving soldier dispose of their last few enemies. And they start running up to join the fight upstairs. You hear the sounds of no more cultists arriving, and nothing else comes through the doors. It sounds, other than the ringing of bells and the loud blast of like cannons outside in the city near the walls, and maybe a heavy sort of shaking in the building, and the sounds of magic and something else happening outside in the city. There's the interior of this, other than you guys, is pretty quiet now. No shouting and fighting coming from the corridors. And we move into Locke's turn. Locky Poo, what you gonna do?
All right, Locke is going to raise his arms and clap his hands together, casting a 3rd level spell.
Oh, Neptune
Luck.
revealed wild
That's
magic.
wild magic.
Wild magic.
Fine, I don't give a shit.
And then it's, yeah, let's roll on the table before you say, fine, I don't give a shit, as you get turned into a cat again, dude.
Well,
Cheese wheel, cat.
Yeah, you've been
So
a lot
either
of
way.
you've been a lot of things other than yourself, dude. You know.
Yeah. All right. So either way, before that even happens, the spell happens. So Locke raises his hands, claps them together, and then there's a bolt of lightning that comes up from the ground in the center of that area, and a massive blast of lightning and thunder flies out from that point.
God
God
Matt,
damn it.
you just can't help but fuck your own team over, dude. Everybody has disadvantage for 1 round.
Fuck!
For a round?
It's a very loud blast.
Yeah, it's a loud blast. It's so loud and concussive that basically it hurts all of your ears and actually shatters the glass windows behind the throne and just throws them out. And like pieces of marble on like the columns and stuff begin like cracking and shaking, and parts fall off and slam into the floor below. All right, so what do they need to... DC 17 Dex save, huh? All right, well, you can't counterspell anything, and the other two can't either at the moment. So...
Fingers crossed they got disadvantage too.
Oh, that's a save on one.
Boo.
Ooh, Fabian does not save.
Oh,
I've been hitting that buzzer.
Too.
yes,
And
curse.
Lucian does not save.
Yeah.
So,
So Fabian is vulnerable to all of that damage.
Oh, which means he takes double. Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. You.
yeah, let's
Such a cool
do
little spell
math
effect
here.
too. I love the little nickname.
What's that? 66
Yeah,
damage?
that's super cool.
Reminds me of like old Windows screensavers or something.
Yeah.
Or the Windows media player
Bam.
visualizer.
What's that one? Disco Sheep or something?
Electric sheep.
Electric Sheep, that's it.
It's what androids dream of. I have an inside track on that.
All right. So, yeah, as that happens, everybody has disadvantage for one round. So,
Cool. You're welcome, everyone.
yeah, you're so welcome. So you will lose disadvantage on Locke's next turn. All attacks, basically all attack rolls is all it says.
Thank you, Neptune. Thank you for that.
Yeah. All right. So it just like sparks everywhere, destroying the staircase, tearing out pieces. Unfortunately, it also has the nasty effect of killing the two royal guards as the spell like just cascades through the opening that they had dispelled and just electrocutes them to death. They fry within their armor and they just fall to the ground immediately.
Oh.
Well, I didn't expect that.
I bet you didn't. They're in the AoE. I can see it.
I know. Locke, I knew what was going to happen. Locke did not expect that.
All right.
And they're in that nice metal armor.
Oh, yeah. They're feeling good.
Yeah, they felt it. Does that end your turn, Locke?
That does end my turn.
All right.
Are all three mages still standing after that? Oh, no.
Yep. You're not the only people in the whole world that have magic items, man.
Yeah. But, one can hope that, 60 lightning bolt damage will... Nice.
Yeah.
Remember to loot the bodies.
Yeah.
Loot the body.
It's not letting me get rid of that spell effect. It's only the one round. It's not concentration.
Yeah. There you go.
Bueno.
All right.
Yeah.
So, the fanatical, seeing that, the fanatical cult leader walks right over to Locke.
Does he hit him? I bet he hits him.
Well, we're going to find out real quick. So, he makes a multi-attack.
I use my reaction to Arcane Deflection, adding a +2 to my AC.
All right, sounds good. That brings you up to a 14.
14.
Ooh, that does block one of them, so one becomes a miss. Unfortunately, the other attack comes through, and he seems to have some sort of strange power course through him as he pushes through your arcane spell, and the blade goes right into your chest plate as he aims for your soul automata. So He also adds his fanatical advantage. All right. Or whoops, don't need to do that. All right, so the first one misses. The second attack, however, bam, you take 9. Whoops. Wrong person selected there. Alright, so you take 9 slashing damage, followed by an additional 8 from his fanatical advantage. And he kind of, after he does so, you see him just kind of throw his weapon aside to the ground. He raises his hands to the ceiling and just asks the dragon, "Immolate us. My lord, we sacrifice ourselves for you." And that ends his turn.
Oh, don't worry about it. The dragon.
I do not agree to this.
All right, brings it to Alric.
All right. With my free interact, I will stow the dragon orb, and
Probably a good idea.
Bonus action, move my hunter's mark to the dragon.
That also makes sense.
And then I attack the dragon. Let's do this.
You attack the dragon.
I'm at disadvantage, but I'm flanking with Godric, so they're just going to cancel out. Except for some reason my macros aren't working at all. Interesting. Let me refresh real quick. Sorry, guys.
So pro tip: lock Katarina Nikolai. You might want to move.
My turn's over.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm coming.
Do any of you happen to know when the dragon comes?
Throws.
No, it's just disadvantage on attack rolls. It's just disadvantage on attack rolls, not saving throws.
Oh, only attacks. Gotcha.
Yeah. I actually forgot. I said disadvantage on rolls, but actually it says attack rolls. I just forgot. It's just attack rolls.
Okay.
All right. So my macro isn't working, so I'm just going to old-fashioned this right now, which is kind of annoying. But oh no, I'll just use this because it's the same stat block. Oh, it's a 25 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, then my hunter's mark does a D6. I have a D8 from Colossus Slayer, and I'm going to mark him as a favorite foe, giving him another D6. Oh wow, total of 12 damage.
Wow.
Damn. That's a rough roll there.
Fucking legit, bro.
Second attack.
Damn, solid hits though.
There you go. That's just a 14 on the second attack.
Not much of a hit there. Not much more you could do.
That's it. Yeah, a couple quick slashes from Alaric, and then I end my turn.
All right. So, having been electrocuted, Lucian, burnt and singed from the magic, turns to his uncle and says, "Uncle, we're not going to be able to get to the queen. We need to leave. Fight another day before they overwhelm us." And his uncle turns to him and nods. And then Lucian kind of turns from his uncle, but not before I make my presence felt, as he begins casting a spell and sends it straight at
God damn it, counter
Rock.
spell at 4th level.
Counterspell at 4th level. Ooh. At 4th level. Oh my gosh. You're gonna have to roll, bro.
No! Oh no! Not again!
You're gonna have to roll. As he whips around the air and moisture begins to accumulate in his hand, and then he slams it together in his hands, pulls it out into like this almost like sheet-like piece of ice, and pushes on it and casts Cone of Cold at 5th level.
Oh no! Save us!
He designates Ammius to not be hit by the damage. So, let's
Okay,
see.
I gotta roll against DC 10 plus the spell's level, so I gotta beat a 15 plus my spell.
Why can I not rotate
Oh
this
no!
spell
Oh
marker?
no!
Yeah,
with
so
my
DC
spell
14. Con save. All right, let's see
Okay.
that. Let's see that roll, man. Let's see what we get.
Make sure to roll in public.
Oh, it's on public.
Uh,
Okay. Hold on, sorry. I'm reading.
That's fine. Take a moment. Figure it out, what you're trying to accomplish and stuff.
Okay. Alright, let's do it.
Oh.
I'm so scared. Yes!
Oh, he rolls a 20. Wow, it did not even matter. It did not even.
Wait, you rolled 2d20.
Ooh,
Why
you
did
gotta
I
roll
get
again.
Oh!
So he got a 10?
No, he got a 1. The first one was a 1.
Oh, of course it was.
Oh my god.
I think that's not right, and you should
Of
just
course it
reroll
was. Yeah, he needs to re-roll. Re-roll it, dude.
I see what happened.
Just roll
It's because I hit enter and I was still highlighted on the D20 on this stupid thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, well, Andy says re-roll.
Thanks for the mercy, friend.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude. You guys have a lot working against you, so you can roll again instead of taking the 1. 19. There we go. Bam, dude. Bam. All right.
Over here in the chat, just like, die!
Yeah, dude.
Fuck you, guy.
Fuck you, guy. He's not at all a fan of what you're doing. I need to check something real quick. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I didn't have to do that. All right, so as like the spell begins coming out, like huge shards of ice begin like crossing through the floor, and splintering pieces like are thrown across the room. But you cast your spell, your counter spell, and it just like everything begins to like disintegrate against the spell as it like makes its way back towards his hand in the somatic gesture and just stops it in its place.
Once it stops, it starts coming back in my direction in a little orb, and I absorb it into my core, my soul automata, and
Legit.
charging my power surge.
So you can see Lucian looks extremely perturbed by what just happened, and looks furious. Looks across his face, the scowl,
Fuck you, guy.
and then that ends his turn, bringing it to the dragon,
No.
who, upon hearing the words of his servant,
Here we go.
looks
friends.
to Albric. Feeling Godric on his back, he shakes, throwing the Goliath onto the ground behind him, raising upwards, and he says, "If you will not surrender it, then maybe you'll consider otherwise after I kill your friends." And you see the heat, a blast of it, gather around his mouth as he breathes inwards, heat radiating off of his body like a hot asphalt road in the sun. It begins cooking the area around him, and there's a bright red and yellow flashing glow as Katarina and Locke turn to see what's coming. And he just unleashes his breath weapon. His fiery breath scolds the floor, melting and disfiguring it as it lands, sticking to it like napalm and all across your bodies as you attempt to avoid it as best possible. But there's nowhere to go, immolating all in its path.
And Texo wants to redeem all 3 of them fail saves.
Yeah. Oak or Sieg hit Godric and Locke with disadvantage also.
Oh well.
And I have
and we just. Oh no.
Oh wow, that was a lot of shit that just went not your direction right now, guys. You better hope this fucking dragon's breath weapon roll comes in real low on damage. I'm kind of afraid of clicking the button and seeing what happens on the other end. I'm a little hesitant.
Fucking do it.
So Sieg, just to let you know, they basically are automatically failing the save throws, so I'm going to refund your disadvantage purchases here real quick before I click the button.
Here, I'll do it for you.
Or Mike's going to do it for you. Save those points because you use them enough time, because giving them disadvantage when they're already about to fail the save isn't really going to do very much for you. And then you can just spend the points again when you have figured out like what their situation is. Now, if only Locke had his react cast Mass Shield.
You should have took the code.
Well, Mass Shield only gives you AC. It doesn't do anything for saving throws, which is a bummer. But
no, that's not true. That's not how I wrote the spell when I gave it to you.
I really gotta rewrite that spell. I've written it all kinds of fucked up.
Yeah, you've written all kinds of fucked up. It also grants you advantage on saving throws from like area of effect weapons and stuff. Because we had that discussion, remember? And you're like, it gives AC, but it doesn't do much else. And I'm like, well, how about we do this? And we give it the advantage on saves.
You're right. We had that talk, didn't we?
Yep.
I'm an asshole, everyone. I fucked up.
It's all right. So.
Oh.
All right. That is not a cone. That's weird. Okay, so that's a thing that needs it. All right, so I'm not gonna look at your guys' character sheets, so I'm gonna guess this out based upon your health bars. It does 39 fire damage.
No.
That's exactly how many hit points I have left.
It's 39 hit points.
39. So as the dragon rears its head and just dumps its fire breath, it completely absorbs and wraps through the other cultists like they're nearby. You can like see to your right out of the corner of your eye, Nikolai, they like just disintegrate into ash as you like try to protect yourself. Let's see. Oh, that's a weird effect, so I'm just going to get rid of that. Yeah, that's it. The dragon just unleashes this massive wave of fire in your compatriot's direction. And, like, the fire and as he lets up and just, it comes back in, like, there's just so much smoke and, like, ash on the ground that you guys can't even identify your friends' bodies at the moment. Like, everything is burning. There's so much heat just radiating off of the marble floor that you have to wait for it to dissipate before you can truly see what happened on the other side.
So, I have an ability called Strength of the Grave. When I drop to 0 hit points, I can make a charisma saving throw
but the DC is 5 plus the damage taken.
Cool.
So
Oops.
I would have to roll like a 26 or something on the dice.
Isn't a
So I'm
nat
just not
20
gonna bother.
still a Success?
A nat 20 is a success, so I think you get up, but I'm not sure. That's how Andy wants it.
No,
it's
no.
not a death saving throw she's
It's more.
making.
It's like an ability check.
Yeah.
So Lilith is
So
doing her
nat
best.
20s aren't a automatic success.
So Lilith is doing her best to save us.
She's trying to fight PayPal. She wants to legendary heal everybody. But PayPal's being a bitch.
Oh man, that is just all right. So
It's okay. This is good drama. Let it happen.
it's good drama. So yeah, that the dragon kind of just snorts and a little bit of like steam comes out of its nostrils, and then it just turns and looks over its shoulder at Godric, and then looks at Alric, and then that ends its turn.
We can do this.
Bringing it to Trin Twilight. The little goblin who could, ladies and gentlemen.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and use my
Oh, whatever,
action.
Texil, dude. You're not going to spend any more fucking money. If you spend any more money, you are, like, fiduciarily irresponsible as a human being. I'm just saying, dude.
I'm going to use my action to. I'm gonna reach into my pocket. I'm not gonna be able to carry all this that fast.
Lilith coming in. Oh man. Oh, take that, Texil. Oh, look, man, you can't, dude, you cannot hold this one against me, bro. Like, dude, that fucking dragon breath did what it was supposed to, man. Yo.
So, and Azalea redeemed mass heal 5. So everyone gets 5 HP and legendary heal goes off.
Legendary heal. Would we like
Lilith
to...
with that mass heal?
Oh.
Which one is
man.
legendary heal?
Legendary heal. Would someone like to read that out? Or put it in the chat?
Oh, actually, does it work the way? Hang on.
Legendary heal is the same as the heal spell. And because it's legendary, it applies to every player.
Oh, okay. So it will be the heal. All right, I'll read it out right now.
Yep, the heal spell.
All right, heal spell states.
I think everybody gets like 70 hit points.
Yep, a surge of positive energy washes through the area. Every creature that is us is hit, causing us all to regain 70 hit points. It also cures blindness, deafness, any diseases affecting the target. It has no effect on constructs or the undead.
All right, so let's good effort, Azalea. Like, good effort. We're gonna refund that for you though, because I think this is basically gonna heal everybody up to full, right? 70.
Yeah.
Well, most of us.
Well, okay. Well, tell me how much it goes before we refund her thing, then, so that we can know who gets 5. Because if not, it's kind of wasted on some of you.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I have a max of 79.
So
and I went up to 70. So
I'm full.
So here's the important thing, though, Katarina. As you are laying there, struggling to keep your eyes open, eviscerated from the fire breath weapon, you hear that very distinct voice come through. The soft, authoritative woman's voice. It says, "No, my dear. Not before we complete our bargain." And then you all feel a surge of powerful magical energy rush through you as you are brought back from the brink of death. So, Locke, don't forget to heal yourself up, man. Everybody. Good job. Fucking wow, dude. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see if the breath weapon fucking comes back on its next turn. So, Trin, now that we've gotten all that out of like our system, what are we doing down there, buddy?
Yes, I take my potion of speed.
Ooh.
Which gives me the effect of the haste spell for 1 minute. And so I'm going to use my newfound agility and speed to try and pick up everybody's equipment.
Yeah, not a problem, man. I mean, you're basically carrying everything you can underneath your arms. Everybody had their scabbards on, and so you kind of just fit everything like right underneath your arms, and like Godric's sword in particular is just Nikolai's mace are like dragging across the floor as you like try to balance like Northwind and the other arm and everything, and just kind of run out of the room with it all.
All right, and then I believe my movement speed is doubled.
I believe so.
Double.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
And you have an extra action as well.
Yes, sir.
yeah, but I figured that's probably is that
Dash.
being used to pick stuff up?
No, it is not.
Okay, well then I'm gonna dash. So
You
that
pick up all
puts me
that
at
stuff
my-
with your free action. You've been in the room for a little bit, so you've more or less got it all.
All right, so so that puts me at like 120 movement.
Sure fucking
So I'm
does,
gonna-
Mr. Invisible.
Yeah.
As
So
you
I'm
fucking
gonna-
Sonic the Hedgehog your fucking ass up the stairs, dude, blow past Guillermo.
You're still invisible, right?
Yeah, he is.
Like,
Yeah.
There's just this gust of wind.
Yeah, he casts greater invisibility, which
floating
means it
objects.
doesn't go away until he gets hit or whatever. All right.
And so I run up with everyone's gear in my arm, and that ends my turn.
All
I think
right.
you need this. What the hell happened here? So I look around at the score.
Yeah, like actually, as a matter of, as you run up there and kind of run to their spot, like after a moment, you start to feel this heat like start like going through your shoes, through your boots, and they start like kind of catching fire a little bit. You have to kind of like stamp it out real quick as you jump up and down in place.
Question: is the gear
Hot,
you're
hot,
carrying
hot, hot.
invisible, Trin?
It is invisible until he
Alright.
drops it.
Did you say anything when you walked up?
He did. He said
Yes,
you
then
could
I-
use this.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
All right, so you see the Dragonborn wizard turn. He looks at Lucian and Fabian and just says, "Escape while you can. I'll hold them off." And he readies to cast a spell. Oh, I'm still on the template button. He's out of third levels, so it's no.
Oh my god. Lethal Lilith saving the day.
Fucking A, man. Dude, she may have actually just single-handedly saved all of your guys' lives for the most part. That's fucking hardcore.
I like
Thank
how
you
it's
so
Lethal
much for supporting the channel, Lethal. We love you and we really do appreciate it. We should make sure we go back and clip these things. Because these are fucking some pretty epic moments, and I'm really happy with our community and everybody in general right now. You guys are all awesome. If I could grant you inspiration, Lethal, I would. Okay.
oh,
Let's see. He reaches into his component pouch and pulls out a strange, like almost piece of crystal. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm misreading this. All right, so he begins making somatic gestures with his fingers, and like basically he starts like looking straight at it, and you guys start to feel a couple of droplets of like water fall on you, and then they start getting bigger and they turn into ice as he casts Ice Storm on top of you.
Oh shit!
are we on fire? Are we cold? What's going on here?
Pain. That's what's going on. Pain.
All right, so I need DC 14 Dex saving throws from all four of you.
Locke and Nico
Lock
fail.
and- Yeah.
Oh,
Nikolai.
Do they still have disadvantage? Right?
Tech hit it with the last $20.
Ooh, dope. All right, man.
No, Ulrich has not used that.
Your
crit.
mother guy.
I suck at dex saves, by the way.
Yeah, I know, man. Sorry, dude.
All
that's
this heavy
advantage.
armor is great at taking blows and stuff.
Yeah.
You want me to move quick? Forget that.
All right, so I'll apply damage to you. Katarina, you want to make the save? DC 14 Dex. Thank you, and you save. Tran rolling a fatty 1.
But I have advantage. Which puts me at a 14 because
There you go.
Bane is still on me.
Yep. So -4, right? 2.
Yeah,
so 12. That is a fail. Anyways. So.
That was Katarina's roll.
It's Katarina's 19.
Yeah, mine was 14 total. What did we need to hit?
I still passed though.
You need a DC 14.
You need to in yourself.
Oh, just in the nick of time. Just barely.
We got baned.
Yeah.
Did you get baned, Alex?
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah, so it accounted for that in your save then? Already?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Yes, it did.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Nice work. Cool.
All right, so you just barely saved. All right, so let's go. So you take half as much on success. So as it rains down ice shards in the room on the space you guys are in, you can see them like just slamming in and just sticking into the marble, just going right through it in some cases. A big like fat meteor shaped one just breaks into the floor and just completely indents it like nearby, and you just barely are able to jump out of the way before that one completely crushes the 4 of you. So let's see. It's a really low damage roll, so Katarina takes half of 5 bludgeoning, half of 9 cold. Locke takes all of that because he fails. Nikolai takes all of that because he fails. Trin takes half of that because he
passed.
is
Yeah, that's
fucking
right.
super small and hard to hit with stuff. Agile.
Yeah, I got that super speed on my side.
Now, keep in mind, I'm going to leave this template up because everything right there is difficult terrain now.
Oh, man.
Yeah, War Wizards, bro. Working together strategies. All right. That ends his turn.
Nowhere to go.
All right.
Brings it to Godric. You just tried to burn your friends alive, man. What you can do?
Looks over, has no idea where the fuck Trin is, and just says, "Trin, Gwendolyn, if you can," and begins just fucking trying to stab his way up this fucking dragon, and recklessly strikes and begins moving his way up. We're gonna hit on you. No great weapon fighter this time because I think we just don't need that. Natural 20.
Ooh, man, you're just coming in hot with those 20s, bro. I'm gonna have to go check your JavaScript. You know if they're taking lessons. Solid. That's a solid hit.
That is 25 slashing damage with 9 more magical, so 34 points of damage. As I just dig it in and kind of claw standing up.
Oof.
And just kind of look at this dragon.
Yeah. So after continuously pounding on this dragon's like body parts, finding the weak spots, your sword is finally able to slip in like just underneath the left side of one of its legs, and you find a real sweet spot. The dragon shifts in pain and roars, and then blood just starts gushing out and running down its leg and falls onto the ground.
And I rear back yelling, "I am Godric, and I will be the one to slay you!" And I just stab it in again, going in for another strike.
All right.
Does a 25 hit?
A 25 does not hit, and it's because it casts shield. As suddenly a magical barrier erupts around the dragon, shimmering and like mirroring your sword strikes as you try to find a way in, and just all you hit is magic, and you can see it's speaking in Draconic as it does such.
Is it any words I would understand?
Do you speak Draconic?
I do.
Yeah, they're just magical incantations. You don't really recognize them because you don't understand all the different words and stuff, like what they mean, but you understand them.
Feeling the blade clink off magic, I use the momentum to keep spinning the blade as I bring it up and strike back down again, using my bonus action to drive it in again, attempting to hit. Does not hit though, sadly.
It does not.
But if I'm technically on the creature, I'm gonna move up a little bit higher on the motherfucker, trying to claw my way up.
No, leave it where it is. It's just thematic. Right. I might miss you or not see you or something. It's fine.
Fair enough.
All right, does that end your turn? Goldrick.
Yeah, I just say out, I have the dragon. Take care of the wizards. I end my turn.
Let's see. Dead. Those guys are dead. They're not there. Can you pass your turn?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the reminder.
You're welcome. Katarina. Kit Kat. What you got going?
All right. I'm going to stand up from being unconscious just a second ago.
All right. That uses up half of your movement.
And kind of brush myself off. With my last... since we're on rough terrain, can I move 1 or 2 spaces with my last 15 feet?
It's
you round down.
Yeah, you round down. So you have 15 feet.
You only have 7 feet of movement, which is only 5.
Yeah.
All right, so I will move up 1 step.
Nice.
Which is exactly how much I need.
Ooh.
And I am going to cast oh my gosh, I don't know how to say it. Agonazar's Scorcher.
Yeah.
To hit
okay.
Amius and Lucian.
Ooh, Lucian, you're gonna get fucked up now.
Kill it.
All right, make those rolls.
Feel the burn.
Let's see that spell. What does that spell look like when you cast it?
So I'm going to stand up and take a couple steps forward, and Katarina is pissed. So shadows kind of start to swirl around my feet and billow my cloak and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to shoot my right hand out, and just dark black, really dark purple, almost black flames are going to shoot out of my hand in a line straight up the stairs and hit both Amius and Lucian on the tail end.
All right. So, Amius fails. But Lucian passes the dex save.
All right, so 21 to Amius and 10 to Lucian then.
Ooh, nice.
And I'm gonna yell out, "You can still change your mind." That'll be it for my turn.
All right. All right, so as it goes up the stairs, it is fire. It is fire. Don't worry about it, bro.
Yeah, it is still fire, even though it's flavored darker than that.
Yeah, it's burning black fire. It's like some fucking Naruto shit, dude. Yes, I applied your damage reduction, man. Don't worry about it. Half the half. I got it, dude. So it more or less catches Amius completely on fire, right? And just runs up and burning him as he kind of falls over to the side and begins trying to roll to put it out. his body is left like completely scarred, and it's like melting parts of his face. You can see the bone underneath the front of his muzzle, like in all the teeth, and it's showing as it's just burning it away. Lucian is more able to kind of just like step aside. It catches his cloak on fire and kind of catches some of his equipment, but it's very quickly he just kind of uses his hand and casts a small like prestidigitation like spell and just puts it out. All right. Is that end your turn, Katarina?
Yep, that's it.
All right. So, Fabian turns to the queen. It is your lucky day, your majesty. And then he casts teleportation.
Oh.
And he
Counterspell.
Oh!
Oh!
you can try. Nothing's stopping you. So
Damn! You
Chat, this is the time that she needs the bonuses. I don't know. Give her something cool.
And I'll just keep it at a 3rd level because I think I'm gonna have to roll for it either way. So.
Yep.
So let me just pull up the details of it. Yeah, so it's going to be a DC 17.
Katarina,
Counterspell it.
Katarina, you're blessed. You have a D4.
You're blessed. Doesn't that just
Oh,
cancel out
thanks.
pain?
Well,
Yeah,
no,
that'll
you're
cancel
blessed
out my
and-
pain.
No, you're blessed and
Bane,
Bane, which
yeah.
means you roll 2d4.
Yeah, I'll have to
Yeah.
do both.
One
of them.
negative D4 and one positive D4.
Yep.
Yep,
So they can cancel each other out, kind of.
they can.
Yeah,
All right.
interesting.
So as a
Does
portal,
anyone have inspiration that we're not
he
aware of?
begins casting the teleport spell. So it's going to be real quick. You're going to have to roll that DC 17.
Ooh.
Oh, you can do it. Oh,
Oh no.
Oh.
Ooh, that has no chance.
Is it a charisma check? Isn't it just a flat D20?
It's a. I
It
think
says
it's,
with your spellcasting modifier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
bummer.
Yep.
Good fucking try.
Yeah, I mean, do you even want to bother rolling your Bane and Bless just to see what happens?
No, it's impossible for me to pass.
Okay, I just want to make sure if you just want to see the numbers or not. So you cast it, but despite the healing magic from whatever entity, like, basically saved your guys' lives, there's like a moment of hesitation where you feel like a ripping or like a pain in your body as you're still trying to like overcome this fatigue of basically being killed and being regenerated. And the spell just comes up short and just goes kind of wide, striking nearby the throne. So, unfortunately, you watch as Fabian steps through and Lucian goes to step through this portal. You see a strange, barren, and fiery kind of land with what seems like some sort of either fortress or castle in the background. And then it closes up, and they're gone. The dragon sees this happen and just roars, "Those cowards, they should have died rather than flee." And you are all lucky. You may yet survive this day. Okay.
Quick attention to what just happened in chat there. They were asking what the lucky roll was. Since Katarina missed the 17 we needed, I just typed in and said that that would be the lucky roll number, and then Tech immediately rolled a 17.
That's That's fucking great, dude.
I hate him so much.
Tech.
I choose to give it to no one.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have to give it to anybody, technically. Or he could just give it to somebody who wasn't in charge of the role. It doesn't matter.
Give it to the dragon.
Everything, yeah, give it to the dragon. He can't give it to the DM. We know that already. And he's like, I'm not giving it. Yeah, you stand by your principles, sir. You spent money to watch these people die.
I agree, Lilith. It was rigged.
100% rigged.
All right, so is that your turn,
And you
Katarina?
watch new characters.
Brings it to Nikolai.
Right, the terrain is still difficult, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to first just look at Amius and say, you have helped bring destruction upon these people. Now all that is left to pay for it is you. And I'm going to cast light on the guy.
Blight on
So
Amius?
He's got to make it on Amius, yeah. Man,
Alright.
that was a really low roll.
It was pretty decent damage. No, not really.
So he's
Never
got to
mind.
make a DC 15 save as like the heat left over from, as the fire dissipates from Katarina's spell. You can see like the little black tendrils of smoke don't dissipate and instead just like continually start to wick moisture out of Amius. So like you could just hear like the cracking of his scales as it gets drier and drier.
All right. Let's see that roll. Ooh, he does not pass.
So he takes 32 necrotic damage.
He sure fucking does, as he dissipates into a withered husk of a dragonborn and dies. Like on the staircase. Just falls. All of his skin, everything just dries up into this exhumed shell, and he just crumbles and falls the staircase, his bones rolling down it.
Nice. Okay. I heard.
Felicia.
Bye,
I
Felicia.
heard a voice from somewhere, and be like, Trine, is that you? My weapon, please. And hold my hand out. I know that you were trying to offer it earlier. Do I need to wait to get it?
I mean, I don't think so. I think you could feel for it. He's standing within 5 feet of you. You just
Okay, so I
reach
reach my
out
hand
until you
out,
find
like,
it.
Put my hand around the haft of the Mace of Sorrow. And say, excellent, thank you. And then I'm going to move in front of Katarina and holding my shield up facing the dragon. Just say, you are last. And I'm going to use my bonus action to move my spiritual weapon closer to the fight as well.
All right.
And then hit the button. Button.
So, at the
Hooray.
top of the round, Guillermo and his one soldier make it to the top of the stairs
So close.
and bring up their weapons to bear against the dragon. And on to Locky Poo. Come on, Lock. What you got,
Hey,
buddy?
You guys aren't rolling at disadvantage no more. Congratulations, all.
Yay! These fucking
Huzzah!
expenditures almost killed everybody,
so-
man.
So Locke,
For sure.
his glowing blue eyes blink back on, and he picks himself up off the floor. He tries to send a spell over to the dragon, but it kind of just fizzles out, and he kind of twitches like it might have hurt a bit, and then instead casts a simple cantrip.
Who's getting disadvantage, Sig?
Lock.
You son of a bitch! What did I do?
Oh, man, dude. Yes, I don't think your shocking bolt hits him, bro.
I think you're right.
Oh, dude. Oh, man, I fucking love our community. You guys are fucking great. The fact that you utilize all of our shit is just, I love it, man. It makes this so fucking crazy.
Oh my god.
It also started to make me wonder how DMs accidentally just like TPK their players, dude. They're obviously doing a lot of it at low levels, because I'm like, a lot is going against you guys, and you've come pretty close to dying, like, and you guys got some help, don't get me wrong, but like just AC and hit points wise, this battle was like stacked against you really hard.
I've noticed we get a lot of love from Zambi's, Lethal Lilith, and even Kemma.
Yeah, Kimma's missing out not being here tonight, man. Yep.
All the men are out to kill us, and all the ladies are out to help us survive.
Good-natured people in general.
Bunch of savages. Anyway, so that spell fizzles out too. I look.
Sure does.
I'm beat up and overheating, and I just take the one step I can. Over there.
Seems legit, man.
Yeah. This has been terrible.
Okay. How bad does this dragon look?
I mean, he looks pretty all right. He's a large creature, but he is bleeding profusely from the wounds that Godric gave him, like near the underside of his like rear right leg. And he seems to be like limping on it and like out of breath and overall fairly fatigued. He probably exhumed an especially powerful breath weapon in that attack.
Well,
But in general, there doesn't seem to be anything catastrophic done to him.
All right. I duck under his front paw and slice at what would be the dragon's Achilles tendon and auto crit. Please.
Ooh. There it is. The auto crit.
There's my damage. Crit. Boom. Okay.
Ooh. With absolute precision that anybody would expect of a seasoned wild hunter or ranger, someone who studies killing creatures, you go underneath as it's still looking at Godric and you slice. Your blade digs in and you find the tendon as it tears open. And the dragon falls forward as it is placing all of its weight on that front claw and like trips itself, landing like on the ground. A heavy wham! And then it kind of turns over and looks at you with its eye and faces you.
Oh, good. He's facing me. My second attack will be at his face.
Yeah. So let me apply some damages here.
Oh no, he's bleeding. There's blood everywhere.
All right.
Making him bleed his own blood.
All right. Second attack. Natural 1. He fell on me.
Or you fell in his mouth, like you're going to attack his head. You just jump in.
He's looking at me.
Yeah, he's looking at you. So yeah, he basically, you go to attack him, and you're like, all right, this is my opportunity. I'm gonna kill him. Like I'm gonna go straight through the eye, into the back of the brain, and just out him. But he seems to anticipate this, and he just nudges forward ever so slightly, and you trip over like the front of his muzzle, and just hit the ground. This massive beast, just even that tiny nudge, just like feels like getting hit by like a carriage. Is it just bam? You just trip over it and over yourself, and barely have enough time to roll over as his jaw just leans over, and just wham into the air near where you were as he tries to finish you off.
I'll yell out, "Strike, Godric!" And then I will end my turn.
The dragon rears back up, standing, looks around the room. You nearly defeated me. I will be back, mark my words. As flap of his wings, bam, bam, pushes you all back, flinging you as he strikes the ground, lifts himself up, and begins rushing towards the ceiling, breaking it open, and heading into the night sky, leaving you all in the chamber.
Okay, so I kind of fell off his back then?
Yeah.
Was on there?
Yeah, he shook you. You came off when he, like, got rolled by the attack to its tendon.
Fuck, I just want to scream out in Draconic. Disgraceful dragon! Run like a king! As I howl out into the night in Draconic.
So, all the enemies are dead. The room falls silent, not but the heavy breathing of you and your compatriots, and the sounds of cannon fire, and the still shaking of the castle as the magical barrier is dispelled around the Queen's throne. And there is a breath of relief that washes through the chamber. The bodies of mangled and dead corpses, the burnt, disfigured floor, the effects from the magical spells, and the sheer destruction of the throne room has left many large parts of it completely unrecognizable. But you are alive. Surprisingly. Maybe the gods were looking out for you after all.
I want to just like kind of growl, walk up to fucking one of the wizard that I killed earlier and just kind of kick him and just, you hear me grumbling, why do dragons always run away?
Alaric looks at the cultist blade he's been using this entire time and just tosses it down at his feet in disgust.
How are you all? Do any of you have injuries that need tending?
Not me at the moment. Where is Trin? Where is my blade?
As you say that, you hear a clang as your blade like falls in front of you, and you hear the whoosh of small elven feet or small goblin feet.
I'm gonna pick it up and just kind of slide it into my hip and kind of rest it on my side and rest my arm on it. Andy, if you want to refresh all of our faces or make sure Discord's open.
Discord's open.
Then go to the OBS and you just hit the eyeball a few times on everybody, or on Justin, me, and Sean, because we're all frozen.
Yeah, but I look so good. Like that. That's a handsome picture of me. Somebody snapshot that before it unfreezes.
Going on your dating profile? You slick motherfucker.
That's true. Just a reminder to everybody, I am single.
And it will stay that way. Congratulations.
Probably. Trin, while you have my longsword, you notice it's vibrating almost violently in your hands.
And then a clang in front of you. as I continue to shift around invisible.
As long as everyone is alive. And how did you survive the breath of the dragon?
I am not quite sure. I could tell it was some sort of divine magic, but it did not feel familiar.
Is the queen all right? The other two ran, so someone should make sure she's okay.
So you hear a sort of like a painful yell come from the direction of the throne, and you see the queen like kind of drop to the ground and like holding her hands on her head, and her attendants like rush over to her, and Guillermo kind of just passes beyond you all and just starts rushing up the steps towards her.
I would like to approach and call from a respectable distance. May I offer assistance? I'll address Guillermo.
So he looks at you. Well, you might as well. You basically just saved everybody here. Please come with me. Let's see what we can. Maybe you can work with Vivian's cleric, and we can figure out what is happening. And he kind of guides you up to her.
Yeah. So, are there physical wounds? Anything immediately jumping right out?
Make a perception check.
And click the button. My perception. Ooh. Oh.
On outward appearances, it doesn't look like she took any damage. So whatever it is, gotta be something else. But you can't be sure unless you give her like thoroughly look over her.
Yeah. So I'll spend some time, a minute or so, just trying to assess her needs.
Okay.
I'd like to look around and rush around and try and sort out if, in the mix of all the chaos, if the other dragon orbs were left behind or did they get taken?
Just looking, you see them. They're scattered around. They've been hit, bumped, and moved, but it seems like all 4 of them had been left on the floor, not ever having an opportunity to be presented to them to be taken.
And if I see them there, I'd like to grab the bag of holding and delicately use it, kind of like I'm picking up dog dookie, and delicately use the bag to safely pick up each orb, but also put the orbs in the bag.
Okay. Unfortunately, anything else that wasn't magical that was dumped on the floor was destroyed by the dragon's breath weapon. Like, you guys see gold and all sorts of stuff that's just like been melted into the floor and just disfigured completely.
That's a lot of your stuff.
But yeah, one at a time, being very careful, you go and you pick up each of the 4 dragon orbs, minus the one that Alric has. Godric, what are you doing?
Now that I'm gonna approach the fucking the dude in the gold armor and just, is there any more battle to be had? Do you need me anywhere else?
So who are you addressing? The guard that's right there, the soldier?
No. I was gonna approach Grom, not Grom.
Gier?
Let him struggle. Let him struggle. There.
Watch him struggle, bus. Yeah, so you walk up the stairs and he just turns to you and says, I don't believe so, not at the moment. We should wait to hear from the rest of the city guards and captains, and see what's happening outside. As he says that, you hear the distinct sound of boom, 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 and cannons, and the palace kind of just shakes a bit and shudders for a moment. Katarina, what are you doing?
After everything kind of settles down, Katarina is just gonna start hurling a few chromatic orbs and any other ranged spells that she has against the wall in frustration. And eventually she's gonna tire herself out and I'm just gonna drop onto the floor on my knees and I'm not gonna say anything.
Alright.
I'm gonna go sit next to Katarina and just kind of lean on her shoulder a little.
Locke, what are you doing?
I'm watching Trin and making sure that nothing strange happens with the orbs. And then I don't know. I'm gonna kind of pace, try and think about what just happened and where those fucking sorcerer and his uncle could have gone.
Okay. So,
hopefully it was Vernus and they can stay there.
So after a few moments of kind of looking her over, Nikolai, you realize it's some sort of magical sickness. It's some sort of magical withdrawal from some sort of long-term magical effect that she's been under. won't be able to fix it completely without first being able to figure out what was causing it and how it was being caused.
I'll say,
But you assure her, you're pretty sure. One last second. You're pretty sure the effects are going to be temporary, maybe days, maybe weeks, but they shouldn't be permanent.
I'm gonna wave over Locke. Say, Locke, a moment, please.
So I stop my pacing and I look over at him and just shrug, like, acknowledging him.
Say, the queen seems to be under some sort of magical sickness. I take it you are well-traveled and experienced and knowledgeable about the arcane side of magic. Could you perhaps lend me your insight? Perhaps if we can understand what caused this, we can help accelerate her recovery.
I will do what I can. Yes, I'll lead the way.
So I would like to work with Locke about his knowledge of arcane and see if there's anything that cause addictive substances. With the idea of we could work together to make a medicine check to see if there was like any way to wean her to help her recovery be a little bit smoother.
So you're trying to prescribe a solution without. Do you guys not want to figure out maybe what it was first?
Yeah,
Just out of curiosity.
Oh yeah, no.
I want to either try. Like, if we can't do identify, because the spell, if it's withdrawals, the spell isn't there anymore to identify. But use an Arcana check to understand what spell probably.
Yeah, make an Arcana check with advantage because Nikolai's there with you.
Okay.
Yeah, rolling dice. Always fun to roll dice.
Oh.
That was a good roll of dice.
18.
It seems as though she was probably under the long-term effects of an extraordinarily powerful suggestion spell.
So I look to Nikolai and the Vivian cleric. It was a powerful suggestion, one that was long sustained. I'm sorry, my physiology is not my forte. I can't say exactly what it'll do to her, but she will recover.
Okay. So, is there anything we can do to help? Maybe help her regain her wits about her. Could we perhaps give her a smaller dose of magic to, as you would wean someone off an addictive substance, you give them a different substance in much smaller quantities to make their sobering process easier. Is there anything we can do of this nature to help?
I can check my spell book, but I don't think I have anything like that.
So you guys are having this conversation. Guillermo leaves where you're standing, and he kind of walks down over to the side of the throne, down the stairs, hops down to where the statue's like rubble is, and you hear him yell, "Get up, you traitorous dog!" And you can see him picking somebody up, and you realize it's the Dragon Reasonablest cultist that had been knocked off by the spell, and he's now pulling him back towards you guys, and just kind of drops him in the room. The dude looks to be alive, but he's definitely unconscious. And Guillermo just gives him a swift, solid kick, like straight in the ribs while he's laying on the ground. And then he calls to the royal guard, "Come and take this individual away. I want to make sure he feels this later." Around the same time, you notice that the more troops start entering the room, and an individual, elegantly dressed individual, kind of runs up and hands what looks like some sort of message to Guillermo, who takes it in his hands, opens it, and begins reading it. You can give her an assortment of like herbal remedies and stuff that are pretty common and easy to make with basic stuff that you could find in any herbalist kit to help her with some of the pain and relief some of that. Locke.
Katerina, are you okay?
I just thought that he was going to be our friend. We were supposed to be able to trust him. I thought maybe we... Never mind, it doesn't matter now.
It matters. There's just nothing we can do about it. Just want you to know that, we got your back. We're here. We're gonna be all right. I don't know what that tantrum was about, but we're in this together, and I think everybody can see that now.
I know that we will be all right, but I also know that when we see him again, he will not be.
Let's see if one of your spells can get to him before one of my arrows does.
I'll take you on that.
Well, if you're going to sit here for a while, and I stretch out across the floor and just lay the back of my head against your thigh, I'm going to take a nap.
Of course. And I'll sort of stroke his hair a little bit while he falls asleep.
I lean into it like a kitten.
All right. So, you gather up the Dragon Orb's train and kind of put them away and seal them up. With each one, it gets a little bit heavier picking them up and putting them in there, but nothing strange or out of the ordinary seems to kind of happen while you're doing so.
Yeah, I drop my invisibility and I head up and I look around and just taking a survey of the room. I probably shouldn't be the one holding these. As I look and I see Locke and Nikolai, and I approach them holding out the bag of holding. I think one of y'all should take this.
I reach out for it.
Take it.
Let us not. Never mind.
So after kind of attending to the queen, she kind of comes to her own. She kind of just stands up real straight and kind of pushes her advisors and like everybody away from her. Guillermo kind of closes the message, takes it, puts it in like a pocket, and then kind of walks over to her. Kind of bows politely. Your Majesty, sister. It seems as though the city is still fighting back a cultist insurrection. You should give orders as to what to do. What should we do about the Dragon Reasonableness? What should we do about their church? We can't let this stand, I say. Some sort of action be taken, whether it be mercy at the hands of our troops or banishment. As he's having this conversation, the individual who is the cleric of Vivian kind of walks over. This kind of older gentleman, graying beard. Your Majesty, I disagree. I believe that, like I said before, we should just ban them from the city. Show them no mercy for the betrayal that we've seen. Let no stone be unturned and crush them in the streets and across our lands. She looks at them both. And then she looks to you all.
Oh dear.
Thank you so much. You have saved our lands and saved me. For doing such things, I don't believe there's any repayment I could give that would equal the favor you've done, Lior. I remember small, brief conversations that we have, and I remember you trying to tell me that the dragon reasonableness were the cult of domination and could not be trusted. I apologize humbly, and she kind of gives a slight bow. You have so much experience in dealing with them. Might I ask for your advice on how this should be handled? So I'll give you six a moment to kind of just confer amongst each other for a second.
Destroy their temples and symbols, root them out, and execute them.
Yeah, well, you gotta kick them when they're down. That's the best time to kick them.
Hey, Alex, take inspiration.
I take it. Oh.
Thanks for using one of your, was it your bond?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for using one of your bonds in roleplay.
If there was a time to do it, it's to do it now.
Not all of them are going to be these evil masterminds. Some of them are merely pawns too. I don't see a problem with maybe
if they do not, if they cannot renounce their faith in an evil cult, then they need to be dealt with. Every worshiper gives them power.
But even if they renounce, you can't trust them. Just exile. Banish them all.
Renouncing a god it carries weight. We need to reduce their power base. So even if before they get exiled, they must renounce in the eyes of another of the faith.
Well,
a cleric friend or another.
I've said my piece. I just can't get behind executing a whole bunch of witless followers, sheep, really.
Hey, it just happens. Sometimes you get in with the wrong crowd and then it comes back to bite you.
I don't like the idea of it. It's merely a step towards reducing their power.
I'm just saying, I hear this whole renounce thing, and I'm just like, it sounds more like you're just sending an army off to come back and bite you in the ass later. I'm just saying, sometimes the high road doesn't work.
Taking the high road isn't about success or whether or not it works, though, Trin. It's a calling. It's the only option.
If we're talking about, fighting all these dragons and, saving the realm, I think results matter.
Can't argue with that.
Anybody else? Any other final opinions? Sorry,
I agree that you're good. I agree that the low road may have some merit if it saves even one life in return.
Your Majesty, there is conflict in your city. People will look to you for guidance, answers, and leadership. Whatever decision you make, you'll need to make it sure and with confidence. That will be the right decision. I agree with my companions. They have done nothing but manipulate you from who knows how long up until this point now. I believe you should act swiftly and decisively against them. Show your people where you and the rest of Lior stand.
Alright, so what's the final tally out of the six of you?
Godric kind of speaks up, having listened to everybody. Choosing to kind of remain silent, seeing it go back and forth.
I would agree with the cleric. Banish them.
I think that puts the tally at 3v3.
Well, the two choices are to show them mercy, which would be to allow them basically to, renounce their faiths and keep their church, and basically, or, still be welcomed, but them to have to take basically more tact and time to root out the actual cultists themselves. That would be showing them mercy, basically. The other option is basically just scorched earth, tearing down their churches, executing all the people who consider themselves dragon reasonableists and worshippers and workers within the confines of the cult domination across Lior, and basically purging them by force. Also with, like, the banishment scene. So those are kind of your two options, either with force and violence or with justice and understanding and mercy.
It is interesting. As someone who worships Krom, many people look at me and judge upon who I worship. I've been chased out of cities. I've been looked upon, spit on, and things thrown at me. My first instinct is to spit on them and burn everything down. Don't know. But lately everything I know has been turned upside down.
All right, so if that's everybody's discussion, then let's bring it to a vote. Either mercy or violence. Sean or Nikolai?
I would say mercy. Everyone should have choice. Make their own decisions. They stick by that choice. It is fate that they live.
Okay, Godric?
Mercy.
Okay, Alric?
Mercy.
Locke?
I understand your desire for mercy, but where it won't be senseless, aimless destruction. It will be clean and precise excising of a cancer. Destroy them.
Okay, Trin?
Hey, when you conduct betrayal, you get what you get. Throw your lump in with the wrong crowd. No mercy.
Katarina?
I believe that they would kill all of us if given the chance. They've proven that here tonight. So I think we must hunt them down the same.
Oh my god!
So,
Maybe we should toss it to the chat. Chat, what do you think?
the chat's definitely calling for fighting. So, I think that's what they're going to go with.
Fair.
So the queen turns.
Oh,
thank you for your wise and noble advice, Guillaume. Begin summoning the Maquis and the armies. Gather all forces. No temple should be left standing, and no place of worship or individual who claims loyalty to them should be left without a gallows. Act upon this now. And he bows. Yes, Your Majesty. The only other... It seems as though also many of the war wizards will also fall underneath this edict. We will be losing much of our strength in magic, but I understand. And he lowers his head and he leaves the room with the last of the few guards that came in, and the rest of the royal guard kind of stay there with Jacqueline, who turns to you. Either way, we owe you a debt that I don't believe that I can honestly fully reward, but I can start with a few things. The first of which is what to do with the land and titles granted to Fabian and his family over all these years. I start by bequeathing you Lucian's personal home and town home and their family lands. They are now yours. Although, all of their magical research and items and anything of value that we deem belongs to the wizards within our kingdom, we shall take for ourselves as well. Anything else will be left to you. And now, about these dragon orbs. What do we know of them, and what do you plan to do with them? I believe before we discuss any further issues around alliances or going to war, I would like to know what you plan to do with them. What did the council decide when you met at Aleska?
Well, Your Majesty, the council was fairly split, but we have made some decisions on that front. We've allied with the dwarves, and as well as the court of wizards that you used to hold here, the Circle of the All-Seeing Eye.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. I have many wrongs that must be righted. Out from underneath the influence of those manipulative words that the cleric was whispering in my ears at all times. I feel much more like myself, though pained. So the Steel Confederacy will take them?
I don't believe we have any plans to deliver them anywhere.
No, I believe the deal was we just have to use them. And then they will join.
She just shakes her head and kind of turns and kind of paces for a moment. I was such a fool allowing them to come here. So weak. My father would be most displeased with me and how I've ruled over the kingdom since his death. But you've helped right that. You are heroes to Lior. Also, and she kind of snaps her fingers and calls over like some sort of scribe from her court, and he kind of steps out of line, runs over with some quill and ink, some parchment. Write them a writ of free passage from assailment when traveling through the city and coming on business to meet with either myself, my advisors, or the court. And then he fills it out, seals it, and they hand it to you. You are now free to enter within the grounds of the palace and the surrounding city walls without any form of assailment. You may be questioned, as others will be informed of this, and the seal should protect you, but you'll never be hassled for being within the city boundaries again. Please take this.
It was a great honor, Your Majesty.
I pull out a spell scroll container and pop it open. We'll keep it in here for now.
Either way, I shall confer with my council. I'm sure we'd be more than willing to rejoin the Banner Alliance in our commitment to the battle. We'll gather our armies and our forces, take stock of what we need, and most importantly, we'll finish defending and clearing the city of all enemies. As there's like a blast of power or something that kind of shakes the palace again, and you hear the sounds of cannons, you realize that the city is still under attack by something. And then she kind of begins walking past you down the stairs as to leave the court. You should go and rest. Our troops will continue to clear the city of cultists and unrest. Go to your new home. Take your time to make all the considerations you need. Before you leave Lior, you should meet with me one last time. Reach out to my messengers and servants, to the court, to my advisors, and they will get you near me so that we can have this conversation. Before I fully commit and meet with the advisors, I will need to travel to one of our sacred forests in the royal forest and go to a lake where I may commune with Vivian and see if she may give me guidance. I would hope you'd meet with me before I leave. And then all of her court advisors and troops and such begin kind of moving and following her out of the throne room, and the last thing you hear is her giving orders for the Royal Pegasus Knights to track down and hunt down the dragon who had escaped. A few servants come over basically to you, and your honorable sirs and ma'ams, may you please follow me, and I shall lead you out of the palace and provide you with a private carriage to take you to your residence.
Well, of course. As I follow.
Okay. Is there anything last minute things Nikolai, Godric, Alric, Locke, or Katarina you would like to do before you leave this room?
I'm good to go.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm going to look at the group. I'm going to hang back for a minute. I remember the way. I'll be shortly.
I pull a cloth out of my satchel. I go over to where the dragon was being attacked by Godric and Alaric, and I mop up as much of its blood as I can, and then store it in the bag of holding.
Yeah, so you go to soak up a bunch of the blood, still hot to the touch, even warm from the dragon's elemental nature and magical nature. You know, you kind of wring it out and get yourself a nice, 12-ounce vial of dragon blood.
I would like to approach the same area. I know I was able to deal a really large blow to it. Did it knock any scales or anything off onto the floor? All right.
It did not. You basically managed to wedge your weapon through one of the scales and plates and find an opening in a bare area where you could do an attack, but all of your attacks against the scales basically just bounced off and did almost no damage to the dragon. Without your trusty Gwendolyn, a plain old sword just wasn't going to cut it. All right, so Alric, you said you're staying behind?
Yeah.
Okay. Nikolai, Godric, Locke, Trin, Katarina, you basically exit the palace, enter the carriage, and they take you back to Lucian's. While driving through the city, you can see the sparks and blasts of what looks like magic attacks of some sort, like kind of going off throughout the city, sparking and exploding. You can see the church that once stood tall of the dragon Reasonableness, now the cult of domination, is already ablaze, burning bright into the night. You hear the sounds of clashing in the city, fighting, and you glance upwards to see the Pegasi with their night riders kind of flying off into the night in pursuit of the dragon. After a few minutes, you arrive at the front of your new residence, Lucian's old residence, and begin exiting the vehicle and heading up the steps. But as you step out, Katarina, you see a familiar shape, a familiar creature, sitting at the doorstep, laying there like a dog patiently awaiting its master to come home at the door. And it stands up as it sees you. And it looks at you. And you hear that soft but firm female voice again in your head. I will not wait for this much longer. Now is the time. You must remember, not all of you left Avernus. One of you was left as collateral.
Oh.
Fulfill the bargain, and he is returned. And then she gets firm. Now. Without delay. So, as you all enter Lucian's residence, you're left to consider these things that have happened. So, Katarina, what would you like to do? Because I saw you were about to speak.
Does Katarina remember what she's talking about?
Yes, there accompanies with you when you think about it. There's suddenly a strange clarity surrounding some of the events that happened in Avernus. You see very clearly in your mind's eye Hargraves in a deep, dark dungeon being prodded and tortured by spine devils and creatures of Avernus, still alive, hanging chained to the wall. And you see a small girl in a white dress gleefully taking joy in it. And then you see very specifically, it comes into mind now. At the time when you first had this discussion, when you reached out to this greater power, and searching for the inner strength to overcome your own harrowing tortures in Avernus, you remember being told that a servant of the enemy of the god whose powers you use shall be coming into your life, and that she offers him for your friends. And then you see very clearly Nikolai in your mind's eye.
Oh, no.
What? What? What?
Don't do it! He's already dead. Screw that guy!
Oh my god! So dramatic!
Holy crap.
You're gonna give her a bloody panic attack, and it's fucking great.
So I'm going to hang back behind everybody else. And tears just silently start streaming out of Katarina's eyes.
So you hear the Hound of Hill Omen, who's in the room behind you, as you kind of back up into him, and it speaks to you in a voice with a low growl. You know the words. Speak the incantation of entrapment of the soul, and it will be done. Hecate waits for nobody. Do it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I am going to use as many of my sorcerer points as I need to, so that nobody else hears me saying anything or doing anything.
So you see Locke, Trin, Godric, and kind of heading up the stairs, and there's a moment of hesitation where you feel like Nikolai kind of stops. And then he kind of looks over his shoulder and he turns and looks at you and starts walking back down the stairs towards you. Now, Nikolai, there's something strange about what's going on. You feel a very heavy presence, a dark presence, in the room with you. And then you see this dog-like creature just cowling around her feet, walking and circling her. And you hear, for just a brief moment, like the inner thoughts of this creature as it's goading her to speak some incantation.
Katarina, a moment, if you would. Back in the throne room, there was that burst of energy, and my wounds were knitted back together again, and I felt something familiar, but couldn't quite pinpoint it. I have a feeling that you somehow are tied to it. Is that true?
Katarina is still, I'm still just, tears are falling down my face. I'm gonna say, I'm so sorry. And I'm gonna finish the incantation.
And so, like, while she's marrying, I hold up one finger and say, if you would, I understand. I'm going to undo my pendant, and it is just a small pendant of a small, dark steeled raven. I'm going to hand it out and give it to you. Say, my life has always been driven by fate, not necessarily knowing where my next step will lead me. Originally, I thought that I needed help save my land, but over the last few days and what has happened here in Lior, I realized it is maybe not my land that I was trying to save while I was down here, but perhaps maybe help save you and your friends. This world. I gonna drop it in one of your hands, right? Take both your hands in mine. The other hand. Say, I want you to know, I do not blame you for this. And you should not feel any guilt in any way. Look at her eyes and say, they forgive you. Give her a little kiss on the cheek. Take a step back. Just say, just be aware. I understand you may have to do this for some reason that only you may know about, but do not be trapped in thinking that your fate or destiny is only determined by other people. You control your own fate. The threads of fate are woven all around us. You have influence on that yourself. Do not ever feel stuck or trapped, and may that pendant remind you of it. I'm going to turn around and look up to the moon and say, be kind to the others. You may talk brashly and with courage, but they will need your help and guidance, your insight. Always be wise, always be kind, and everything else will work itself out.
So, as the final words of the incantation leave your mouth, they utter out, there is a dark energy and power that encircles your body, begins moving about your cloak, powering through the room, knocking books off of shelves, and begins to shake the building. A darkness envelops the room, putting out the fires, putting out all sources of light. And then you see some sort of form coming out of the darkness, erupting nearby Nikolai, clawing its way through dimensions from another plane, from another land. Nikolai, as you stand there and looking up towards the moon, thinking about your travels, you look forward, and there, across the sea of gold and white light, you see all of the servants and all of the clerics of the lands that have come before who have served your goddess, and they welcome you into their realm. They call for you. They reach out to you. Comfort and warmth is on the other side. And you reach out to touch fingertips through a plain, almost water-like glass substance. But it's then closed and darkness overwhelms you. And Katarina, the last that you see as he is reaching outwards to touch something beyond your comprehension, is a crooked, dark creature. A living shadow engulfs him and tears him violently into another dimension. And then the darkness recedes, the lights come back, the hound nudges at your leg. Job well done, servant of Hecate. Your friend will be returned shortly. And your father? We can lead you to him as well. For all the wrongs and mistreatments of the world that you have felt, they will be righted. Just embrace her power. Until next Friday.
That's the shit right there! That's it right there! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Trade, earn those points, the channel points that you can spend in the action point store and do all the cool stuff that we saw the community do tonight, like give people greater healing potions and save their lives. Thank you all so much for being here. All the amazing subs, support, follows. We love all of you. And you know you're all welcome back here. Thank you so much, Fun with Geeks, for being here. Malachi, great to see you again. Oak Tree, thank you for dropping by. We're going to get that information to you. And we hope that your week is as legendary as our night was. And we will see you on Monday for Community Night. And then Friday for D&D. So goodbye, everybody. We love you. Have a wonderful night.